It's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hanson. I'm here with my co-commentator, the poker babe, Shirley Rosario, and it's Wednesday, which means it's Poker Blue Whale Night. That's 5,100, no limit hold'em. There's a $5,000 max cap on the buy-in for the first buy-in. The first rebuy is $5,000, and then each time you go broke, you just keep buying more and more. And we've got a couple of action players on the table. Ed is back, and Jay is back as well. We also have fan favorite Barry Woods. So here we go. Let's do this thing. Let's talk to my girl. Here it is.
Play just 4 hours on PokerBlue.com and qualify for our weekly free roll to win your choice of a seat at the World Poker Tour, the World Series of Poker, or, if you dare, a seat at Poker Blue's high-stakes whale game here on Live at the Bike. Get in on the action now because these free rolls are so small that they redefine the term overlay. To qualify, open an account on PokerBlue.com with $100. Then play 4 hours at $1 and $2 limit or any no-limit game. You can even start playing right now while watching Live at the Bike. Just click the PokerBlue.com banner on the right of your screen or log on to PokerBlue.com, bonus code BIKE. And don't forget, every week you play 4 hours gives you another chance to win.
That's the money shot right there, baby. Here we go. Well, let's go around and introduce the table and start off tonight.
All right, seat number 1, we have Yosh. We have Avo in seat number 2. Seat number 3 is Ed. Seat 4 is Mike Wu. Seat number 5 is Ken Berg. Seat 6 is Vic Park. And Jay in seat 7. Kenny in seat 8, and Barry Woods in seat 9.
So we've got a couple of loose players at the table. I mean, Ed Shanazarian in seat 3. We've got Jay in seat 7, and Barry Woods is pretty loose over there in seat 9. Of course, a couple of pros at the table as well. We got Yosh Nakano, we got Avo, 2 cash game pros. We got Mike Wu, cash game pro. Seat 5, Ken Berg, former owner of Kookaroo Chicken. He plays in the high-limit mixed games with Yosh all the time. And we got Kenny Wynn over there. I don't know if we've seen him in seat 8 play at this level before, but he's going to give it a shot tonight. And then we probably got one of the most dangerous players on the table in seat 6, Vic Park. Very skilled, knows what he's doing, and watch him when he makes a move. So let's get into the first hand. Yosh Nakano over there in seat 1 has the button.
When's the drawing, Noah?
And it looks like this one's going to get limped around. And Ed is going to raise it out of the big blind. He's going to make it 400 to go. He's got ace-8 of clubs. Again, Ed plays a lot of hands. He's going to raise it up to 400. So does Jay. Look at that. Jay limped in with a queen-7, but it's not good enough for a raise. Now, Yoshi's got 8-4 diamonds. He's going to fold. Now, Ken's got pocket 6s, and I believe we are heads up. It's a $1,000 pot. Going to the flop. Ed hits second pair here. Queen, 8-3. Ed's going to bet 500. And let's see. Ken Berg's going to make the call. Pot's now 2,000. The turn's a 6. Ken Berg's hit a set of 6s. And Ed's going to bet 500 here again. Ken Berg can't believe it. He looks down at a set that he's hit on the turn. Pot is $2,500. Let's see how he's going to play it. Ken Berg loves to trap. He's a trapper.
Right.
But at least we're at the turn now, so let's see if he's going to put some sort of raise in.
Not only that, we know that Ed will call. So
with any pair, normally.
Yeah, so I'm sure Ken will put a raise in.
And Ken is going to raise it up to 1,000 more. And Ed quickly calls. So there it is. We've got a $5,000 pot. The river's a 5. And Ed's just going to move the rest of his chips
might as well.
in.
Go ahead.
Probably looks like another 800 or 900 there, and Ken quickly calls. And it was actually $1,300, so the first pot of the night's going to be over a $7,500 pot. Ken outturns Ed, and there it is. Ken Berg wins a big pot with a set of sixes. What a nice hand to set up some of the action that we're going to see tonight. And we are going to, I guess this table.
We're taking a short
table
break.
was selected for the $1 million drawing. Of course, if you play here and you get a selection at a table, the first Monday of every month, you get placed into a drawing with other tables for $1 million.
You have a shot at $1 million.
That we have here at the bike, and they're high carding to see who would get the bigger table share. And for those of you that are not familiar with the show, at this level, the white chips are $100 chips. The pink chips are $50 chips. If you see purple chips, they're $25 chips. The blue chips are $1 chips, and grays are thousands, and light purples are 5,000s. We're going to look at a chip count here right off the bat. Yosh Nakano, he's got the table covered with 15,000. Now, Ken Berg, he just looks like he probably doubled through, so he's up to probably 5 or 6. No, he's actually at 9,000. This chip count's probably a little bit old.
Right.
And Ed has rebought for 10,000, so he's at 10,000. And we're going to get into the next game. Now we got a raise here by Kenny Wynn. We need to see his cards over there. Didn't see 80. Raised it up to $500.
And Jay let him know.
He's got ace-king suited. And Yosh is called. We need to see his cards over there in seat 1. You wonder,
Yosh, the prime offender.
After being the host of the game and doing this every week for the last few months.
That he would finally get it.
He's got pocket tens. Yosh makes a smooth call. Maybe. And Ken Berg's in there with a suited ace rag. And here comes the flop. King 10-4, and Kenny Wynn could get into a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, we could see some fireworks
Yosh
here.
has flopped middle set, and Kenny's going to lead here with the ace-king.
1,000.
He's going to bet 1,000 here. The pot's 2,500. It's 1,000 for Yosh to call. And let's see what Yosh is going to do.
Raise it.
He's going to raise it up immediately.
Raise 2,000.
He's going to make it 2,000 more, and I got to say, I really like that play. I really like fast playing in this game. I don't think that with Kenny's chip stack here, Shirley, that he can get away from this, even if it is Yosh.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like he might have 3,000 left. Again, this is a restricted buy-in game, so
2,000.
I just can't imagine when he's kind of on the short stack that he's going to get rid of this here. When Yosh could have done this with King-Queen. It's 2,000 more to call. If he made the call, he'd have about maybe 1,000 left. This would be one hell of a laydown in a restricted buy-in game here.
I'm going to win.
And he's going to move the rest all in, and Yosh is going to quickly call. Quickly call. Let's see how much it is here.
No.
And we're talking about an $8,000 or $9,000 pot here. Turn is a deuce. Kenny is drawing dead.
Yes,
That's it, folks. The river's a 3, and Yosh is going to take it down there with a set of 10s. About a $9,000 pot.
That's 2 hands. We've seen 2 sets. Don't you wish it was that easy when you played pairs?
Yeah. And, Yosh plays it kind of conservatively in these cash games. I mean, some people might re-raise the pocket 10s pre-flop, but he chose to smooth call and see a flop. So 2 hands right off the bat here, pretty good hands. Now, if you want to follow a thread that started on the internet, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on forums, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. The official Live the Bike thread for December 7th, 5,100 no limit hold'em. You can also email us at live@thebike.com. That's live@thebike.com. Check it out. The button's going to move over there to Ed Shanazarian. And Yosh is going to raise here in seat 1. Again, we need to see his cards. He makes it 400 to go.
Yeah, I will.
And he's got ace-queen. And look at this seat 2 there. Avo smooth calls with an ace-king of clubs. Avo has Yosh dominated, and we are heads up. See if this misses both players here, Shirley. Look at that, though. It's an ace. Both players have top pair with a gut shot.
Both of them have gut shots.
And look at this. Yosh checks. And let's see what Avo does here. Pot's about $900. And Yosh just won that big hot pot last hand. Avo's going to bet. He's going to bet 700. A little under the size of the pot.
And Avo is a pretty solid player.
And Yosh just calls here. Even with an ace here, you've got to, sometimes be worried about 2 pair here or a set. The turn's a 5 with this type of Broadway board.
They both check.
And it goes check, check. And I think they're worried about that. And the river's a king. And Yosh makes a straight. And Avo has top 2 pair. And Yosh checks. But Avo, I think that Avo might have put Yosh on a set here. I can't believe that Yosh has checked the straight. And let's see here if Avo's going to bet.
See what Avo does.
I mean, by Yosh...
Yosh might have... oh.
Well, let's see. I mean, the funny thing is here, by Avo checking the turn, I think he might have been scared that Yosh might have had a set here on the flop. And if he did, the ace, this king wouldn't change anything. And he checks
checked.
right behind him. There you go.
Yosh looked at him like, what?
Yeah, and ace queen's going to take it down. Again, I mean, these two players are pretty, you know, they're high-limit cash game players. Avo's a good no-limit player, and he can see that he got rivered there. But again, I got to tell you,
That's a great read.
By Avo checking the turn, I think that he thought he was possibly beat.
I think
and he
so,
didn't
too.
want to see a big check raise on the turn. So we've seen a couple of hands right off the bat that are pretty interesting there.
2,700 behind.
And Yosh, he's checked the turn. I mean, he checked the river, but again, if you put him on a set, your ace king is not going to win there. So Avo just checked it down and hoped that he won there at the end.
So you can't discourage yours from
Unbelievable action here live at the bike. Of course, we stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 o'clock Pacific time. I think surely a lot of people had fun there with Tuckman. Nobody knocked him out.
No.
Over there on the
No, I see
Play
a
for
lot
Free
of
site
crying,
yesterday.
though. They're all crying about Suck-Out Fest.
Yep.
I think they're kind of insinuating Dave's a suck-out artist.
Now, the pot, I think, was limped around here. And Jay's going to bet in here with the flush draw. He's going to bet the pot, and he's going to take it down. Going to see a lot of action from Jay and from seat 3. And Jay's got a lot of money over there, Shirley. It looks like he's got almost 10,000. Over 10,000. So, you know, we could see...
He's a good person to have chips. I mean, you want him to
huge
have
pots
chips on
here.
the table.
Absolutely. Have you've played with Jay a lot, right?
Yeah.
In 3 to 5 games, right?
Right.
Yep. Buttons moved over here to Ken Kukuru Berg in seat 5. I mean, Ken's probably one of the more solid players of this game. The only problem I have with this game, Shirley, is that he tends to trap too much. We got to raise...
Well, we have seen him improve on that. I think he's been going home and watching the archives and changing his game up a little bit.
Now we have we got a raise here by Kenny Wynn with ace queen. Avo called with pocket nines. Yosh called with queen 4 suited, and Ed's going to re-raise to 1,000 with pocket tens. Now Kenny must have rebought here, probably for 5,000. He's going to fold. And look at this, Yosh is going to call with queen 4 spades.
Wow.
He's playing the player. He's got to be playing the player. Let's see what Avo does. He's going to make the
He
call.
believes in playing a rush.
And Ed's in a great shape here. We've got a $3,500 pot. He's only got one overcard, and no one hits the... Yosh doesn't hit the overcard.
Right.
And Ed's got the best
He
hand.
still has the best hand.
And it goes checked around. Oh, and the turn's a queen. Unbelievable. It's a third club, and now Yosh has the best hand.
1,000.
And he's going to bet 1,000 here. 1,000 into a pot that's 3,500, and Ed quickly makes the call. We've got a $5,500 pot here, and Ed needs a 10, and it doesn't come. Ed didn't bet on the flop, and he got burned on the turn. And now Yosh checks, and Ed checks right behind him. And Yosh is going to take it down there with queen 4. I got to tell you, people that are not familiar with this game, Yosh is pretty tight. You got to think that's the only guy he's going to call a $1,000 re-raise with there with queen 4 spades.
Right. Well, I mean, I did make the point that maybe he believes in playing rushes. I
Well,
don't
he's
know.
a pretty high-level poker player. You wouldn't think
You
that
wouldn't
that
think
would
that.
come into play.
You wouldn't
but
think that, but you also would think that these players wouldn't go on tilt, and we've seen them do
yeah,
that.
we definitely have seen Yosh tend to go on tilt sometimes. So a lot of these players drink at the table too. So you know, it's just one of these things.
300.
You do all the things you're not supposed to do.
And Yosh is going to raise here to 300. He's got deuce 5 suited, and Avo smooth calls with pocket aces in seat 2. Just a smooth call there. And Jay's going to call with jack 4 of hearts. Yosh actually has deuce 6. So hearts are pretty well accounted for here. Avo's played the aces slow pre-flop. And the flop comes out 9-9-5. Pretty safe. Now, Jay is checked from up front. Let's see if Yosh makes a continuation bet. He does.
800.
He's going to bet 800. Let's see how Avo's going to play this. Do you put in a raise right now and hope that Yosh has an overpair?
No,
Well, he's just going to call. The thing
He
with
doesn't.
Shirley, we've seen Yosh play a lot. He usually is not going to fire twice here.
Right.
2,000.
So we're heads up. Here we go to the turn. The turn's a 9. And now Avo's got to think he's good. I mean,
I would imagine,
my
yeah.
goodness. I mean, what did Avo call Yosh with here on the flop? I mean, this might be a bad card for Yosh because he might put Avo on a draw now that the third 9 came out.
Mm-hmm.
And Yosh bets 800 now here on the turn. And what was the bet there on the flop? It was
Was it 800?
it was an $800 bet on the
That's what it
flop.
was.
So the pot now is $3,000, 800 for Avo to call. And Avo's in position. You just keep letting Yosh fire, and he just makes the call. $3,800 here, and the river's a queen, and Yosh has absolutely nothing. Is he gonna bluff at it or just give up?
I think he'll give up.
Yeah, I mean, the problem here is that if Avo is on a draw, is he really gonna chase a draw when the board, makes trips on the turn?
Right.
I just don't think so. And I think that Yosh is giving up here, and Avo's got to know his hand is good. Now, Avo actually could lose here to pocket queens, but
But Yosh doesn't have them.
no. Avo bets here, looks like. He shows him the deuce 6. And Avo shows him the aces. So there you go. Another thing that you're not a fan of, right?
Right.
Yeah, he showed.
Wow.
I had 6 deuce.
Right off the bat here, we've got a couple
We've had
of
some huge pots.
big pots. Yeah.
Well, tonight we have our Ho Ho Hold'em $300 no limit Hold'em event.
Does that have rebuy?
No rebuys.
No, just straight up, huh?
Right, 300. Start out with 3,000 in chips. It starts at 7:15.
Well,
so
it
if
would
you still
be really
have time. Go ahead and make it your way down here.
Yeah, it would be fun to see somebody like, Men the Master who plays in these tournaments come and play in this game afterwards.
Yeah, it
after
would
he
be.
gets steamed off. you
Right.
know?
Right. Unfortunately, Min the Master will come in here and play even the smaller events. I don't think he's going to be playing these though because
Really, $300 one?
because of bluffing.
500.
Ah,
They're going to be
Yeah.
playing that World Poker Tour next week,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they're all over there.
well, this is the guy, the dangerous guy here. He's going to open for 500 here with Ace-10 offsuit, and Yosh's call, and his hand is dominated. Jack-10 of clubs. $1,200 here, heads up.
But Yosh is on fire.
Look at that, right in the door there. He outflops him Jack-9-5 rainbow. And Yoshi's going to check the top pair. And look at this, Vic just checks right behind him. He's got great poker instincts. Turn is a 7. Let's see if Yosh bets now. I mean, you just can't let free cards come off all the way down, right?
Right.
Both players have straight draws. And Yosh is going to bet here.
1,600.
He's going to bet 1,600. And again, I mean, Yosh, you really almost don't want to get involved with him. I mean, obviously we saw him call with Queen 4 against Ed, but that's because of Ed. Do you really think Yosh is going to come in against a raise against Vic? Because he knows that Vic is a good
You don't
player.
think he should? I think that he should be one you want to play against.
Well, what I'm saying
He
is
tends
that...
to make really big laydowns. He tends to go in tilt.
But what I'm saying is he isn't necessarily one that's going to fire into a board as a bluff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Yosh, Vic didn't induce that bluff when checking behind the flop, but... We got a couple of posts here about Avo's
About
check
some of the
behind on the
players.
river.
Oh, okay.
Ace King, great check there, great
right.
read.
Right.
Yep. And I really thought that Avo might have thought that he was behind on the turn. Pot is limped around here, and Barry Woods, we haven't seen him play a hand yet. Now Yoshi's got a flush draw with the ace up there. See if he fires into it. This is a great hand to make a semi-bluff into, but he checks in an unraised pot. And Ken Kookaroo Bird checks the ace. And the
Yeah,
turn's a
check.
4, and now Ken's made aces up. And
Gives
now
Yosh an even bigger draw.
Yosh is going to bet. Open-ended, club draw. Let's see if Ken raises now. Yosh bets, I believe, 500. I mean, this is definitely not a time to slow play here, right, Shirley? With the ace-4.
Well,
Yosh just...
he's going to.
He's just going to call. Well, you wonder if he thinks that his hand's no good here, or if he's just slow playing. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Well, I would think he thinks his hand's good.
I
mean,
would
Why
too.
would he call? Yeah.
And the river's a 9, so Yosh misses everything.
And Yosh doesn't usually fire into Ken once
Yeah.
Ken calls.
And Yosh checks. I just can't imagine why, if you thought your hand was good on the turn, why you would just smooth call there with ace-4. I mean, I know the pot's limped around. Well, he's going to make a value bet here. I mean, but I mean, Yosh isn't going to pay him
Yosh
off.
can't call.
I mean, that's the problem. I mean, in essence, if Ken thought his hand was good on the turn, he's basically, allowing Yosh to name his price for that turn card, right? Because he didn't
Right.
make any more money. Yosh missed
Right.
on the end there, so
Right.
it's interesting.
So do you happen to know what Avo does? Any background on Avo?
Well, I mean, the funny thing is we were doing voiceovers for our TV show, the LA Poker Scene, and I was actually watching an interview that David did with him after one of the shows maybe a month back. He supposedly he's only been playing for about a year and a half. He really does impress me of the way he plays.
Yeah, he plays well.
400.
It did mention something about selling franchise. That would be Ken Berg in seat 5. He used to
Two
be
players.
the Kukuru
I think
owner, one of the
I
founders.
think that might have been a joke.
And I think
though.
they got mixed up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Now, Ken, I believe, raised here with pocket 9s. And the flop comes King 7-8. Ed's got him heads up, and he hit him. He hit the king. And now Ken's going to bet 400. Ken actually checked that flop with 1 overcard, and now Ed raises. He's going to check raise here on the turn. A lot of people would fire in there with pocket 9s with only 1 overcard in position. But Ken checked it, and Ed check raised him, and Ken called the check raise here on the turn. The river's a queen,
1,000.
and it's a diamond. And Ed's going to bet 1,000 here. And again, this is against Ed here. This is the problem for Ken. But again, he induced the bet here on the turn by checking behind the flop, and Ed continued to fire. It's a $1,000 bet into about a $3,000 pot, and Ken
He
Berg's
makes a
going to
call.
pay him off. And Ed's going to take it down there with the king. I mean, that's actually one of the things that makes Ed a little bit dangerous, Shirley, because I'm not necessarily saying that I would have definitely paid Ed off there, but it could have been a possibility for me.
Well, I mean, the one thing that most of these players, at least some of them, recognize about Ed is that he'll call a lot of his chips off, but if he fires, he has something.
Well, the other thing, though, too, is that I think that Ken might have saved himself a lot of trouble if he bet the flop and got check raised on the flop.
Right.
He would have got away from it. Instead, Ed waited, check raised the turn. Now Ken got involved because there was only 1 over on the board, and he ended up paying off Ed all the way down.
I had it there. Let me show this one. I need a green deck.
Limp here. Barry Woods has
Pot so
got
far.
King Jack over there in seat 9.
I need a green deck.
And Vic Park is limped in here with Ace Jack suited. And we're going to see a family pot here 6 ways.
6 players.
$600 here going to the flop.
Can I get a spin salad, please? Same salad, please.
Ace King 7 here. Again, the pot is unraised. Now, Ken's got an ace, but Vic's got the better kicker. But again, the pot was limped around.
400.
Vic's going to put a little feeler bet out there. He bets 400 with the Ace Jack. Ken checked the Ace 5 from up front. Action's over to Barry. And he looks like he's going to wisely fold here with King Jack.
What do you have?
You've been teaching him too well, Shirley. But Ken's going to check call with Ace Rag. And he is in kicker trouble here. Pot is about $1,500 here. The turn's a queen. Barry wouldn't have made it straight.
No, he had a pair with Jack.
And it goes check, check here. And the river's a 3. And let's see why Vic checked the turn. Oh, is he gonna raise here or just call? He just called. So I think, again, maybe when sometimes these guys are involved with Ken Berg, they get scared that he might be trying to trap him with something, right? With 2 pair, with a set. Maybe he made 2 pair there on the turn. He didn't want to face a big check raise, so he just decided to check behind him and just call. And he won that pot there. I got to tell you, I'm impressed by Dave Tuckman. If everyone started off with 800 in play chips, and everyone could rebuy except for him, unlimited, and he survived for 2 hours? Are
Not
you
only
kidding
survived, but he had tons of chips.
me? My goodness.
I didn't get a chance to ask him if he had a good time. Did you talk to him about it?
I did.
You did?
He said he had a good time. He was watching The Cinderella Bride while he was with his wife while playing, watching that movie.
4 players.
Now, Ed raced here out of the blind, and look at the amount of people that are in with him. It's a $1,600 pot. Ed made it 400 pre-flop. And the flop comes ace-9-5, and Yosh's hit an ace. And Ed makes a little bit of a continuation bet here. 400 into a $1,600
Yeah,
pot.
very small bet.
Yosh calls. Turn is a deuce, and it looks like Ed is drawing dead now. He's going to bet again, though. 400 into a $2,400 pot now. And it looks like Yosh is now going to raise. He's going to make it 2,500 more? And I just don't think that Ed can call here. He has no draw. He is drawing dead. Right?
Right.
But then again,
And Yosh is going to take it down there with ace-6. What's interesting, I thought that Ed Shanazarian was going to take some time off from this game, but he's back.
Astounded, actually.
big blind, Kenny. Big blind, Kenny.
And the button's going to move over there to Ed in seat 3. Limp here, limp. And here we go. Again, family pot here, 4-way action, $400 pot. 6, 7, 9, and look at Mike Wu. We haven't seen him play again. He's flopped the nut straight, and he checked it from up front. And Jay has bet here with top pair 400. Yosh calls with a flush draw and a straight draw. And let's see if Mike Wu is going to check raise. Pretty coordinated board here.
I would imagine Ho's going to put in some kind of
$400
raise,
bet by
yeah.
Jay. Yosh calls. And look at this.
He
Mike
just
just
flat
calls.
calls.
I don't really like it, Shirley. And Ken calls with an open-ended and a pair. Pot is now about 2,400. The
Yosh
turn
gets
is a diamond, and Yosh has the flush. And look at this. Jay's got top 2 pair. And Jay's going to lead here.
1,200.
He's going to bet 1,200 into a $2,400 pot, and let's see what Yosh does. Yosh just calls. And what is Mike going to do? Mike calls. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Pot is now $6,000. Here we go to the river. The river's a 9, and Jay fills up. He's got a full house. Oh, my. $6,000 pot here. And Mike went from best on the flop to third best on the
Right.
river. And let's see what's going to happen now.
Yes, sir.
It's a $6,000 pot. Let's see how much Jay's going to bet here.
2,000.
He bets 2,000. And was Yosh slow playing the flush? He didn't raise the turn. None of these guys raised. And Yosh just
Yosh
calls.
just calls.
And Jay's going to take down the...
I'm curious to
And
know
let's
if
see
Mike's
if Mike's
gonna
going to
overcall.
call. Can Mike overcall here with the straight? He played it slow, and it turned into disaster. If he makes the overcall, Jay's going to take down a $12,000 pot.
He
and
does.
he makes the overcall, and Jake takes down a $12,000 pot with a running full house. Unbelievable. Wow. What were those guys thinking, Shirley? What were they thinking? Get into their heads.
I don't know. I mean, I understand sometimes slow playing like that, but you got to be able to release the hand. And I don't think that overcall was in order. I don't think I would have made that.
Look at this. We got an email here from Maria. She says, I wanted to let you guys know that it was a lot of fun playing poker with Dave last night. The table started to really get on him towards the end of the night. Once he left, it got worse. Don't understand why people get so upset with play money.
Yeah.
Well, there was a $100 bounty on his head.
Right.
Unbelievable.
But they didn't win it, so they're tilting with play money.
Option.
What an unbelievable hand that we just saw. We got 4-way action here. It's limped around.
Yeah, I like one too.
And it looks like seat 6 there, Vic Parks flopped a
He's
wheel.
flopped, yeah.
Let's see how he plays it. He's in the blind, and he gets checked. And look at this, an action killer comes on the turn.
300.
It's a 6, and now Vic is going to bet.
Sandy?
And Ed folds.
Mike, you want to call 3?
I don't necessarily know if he was going to get called there by anyone. But look at this. Jay actually calls with queen 6. And the river's a 9. This is
It's a 9 of
unbelievable.
clubs. Vic has the nut clubs now.
Yeah, he made a
Jay-
backdoor
yeah.
flush.
Jay has no clubs in his
1,000.
hand.
And Vic bets 1,000 now. I mean, Vic's hand got pretty strong there in the turn. He picked up the nut club draw with his straight.
Right.
And Jay folds.
That was a pretty strong flop, and it just kept getting better and better.
Yep. Unbelievable. And looks like we're going to see a collection pot here, and the button's going to move over to Ken Berg. I just can't believe, Shirley, we talk about it on the show many, many times with Mike Rue. I really like his play. I got a rag on him on that hand.
Right.
That board was so coordinated. There were so many action killers. And, of course, if a diamond comes, you don't know if you're good there. If he put in a nice check raise on the flop, I mean, I just
He
think
might
that he
have
might
picked it up right then.
Well, he might have picked it up right then, but it's not just the fact that maybe he wouldn't have and he actually saved money by playing it that way. But come on, he would have got paid off by Yosh if the diamond hadn't come.
Not
I
only
mean,
that,
Jay
I mean,
would have
it,
paid with king 9. We got an
Right.
open-ended straight over there.
and
for
it's always
somebody.
nice to know when you get your money in with the best of it. And on that hand, he got his money in with the worst of it. He just called, and
I
then
mean, if I'm looking down at
he kept calling.
If I'm looking down at 10-8 offsuit and the flop comes nut straight with 2 diamonds, 9-7-6, I don't necessarily. There's a lot of cards I don't want to see come on the turn.
Right.
350 more per.
Now look at this. Vic Park has raised it up to 450 here, I believe, out of the blind with pocket jacks. Barry Woods, we're going to see him play a hand with queen
He
jack of
called, and
diamonds.
I'm very surprised at that.
Well, and Alva's going to call with pocket 6s. Well, Barry's got an open-ended. Actually, Barry's flopped a straight. Look at that.
He has. No, he hasn't.
Yeah, he does queen jack, right?
Oh,
9-10 king.
yes, he has.
And Barry's going to bet the straight. King 10-9 on the flop. And look at this. Vic check calls.
2 of you.
And here we go to the turn. Turns a deuce. And let's see what Vic's going to go. And it goes
They
check,
both
check.
checked.
And the river's a 3. Barry's trying to set a trap. And
Right.
now Vic is going to check, and Barry's going to bet. So Barry might be representing a flush draw here by checking the turn. Now let's remember back to the action. The pot was about 1350 pre on the flop. Vic checked. Barry bet about 700, making it about a $2,000 pot. It went check, check. And Barry's only going to bet 700 here on the river.
I like the check on the turn.
Well,
It probably drove you crazy, but I liked it.
I mean, this would be one hell of a lay down here by Vic Park. And he's going to make the call, and Barry has him with queen jack. Flop the nut straight. There it is. Yeah, it was a small bet there on the river. And Barry takes it down, so there you go.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, sir.
There it is.
Well done, Barry.
Fishy? What was fishy? The death?
Put it this way, I mean, a check there by Barry against Vic isn't necessarily so bad as it would be against Ed or Jay. How about that?
That's
It would
true.
be missed bet. I mean,
That's true.
the thing is, we are playing no limit. You can make up for missed bets. But I mean, if those guys are on some sort of ridiculous draw, you want to make them pay for it on the turn.
Right. I like
Yeah.
the check against most players. I don't know. I mean, we saw that Vic didn't bite right there.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you have flop a monster, you lead out, and then you pretend that you don't have it on the turn. You check, and the person in position says, okay, well, he doesn't have it. He's just pretending he has it, and
Now,
makes a bet.
now Ed bet here. Ed raised here pre-flop to 400, and Jay called with pocket deuces. And now he
Jay
bets 500,
yeah,
and Jay
Jay
calls.
still calls.
But Ed's favored here with 2 cards to come. He's got backdoor hearts, an open-ended straight draw,
And he hits it right there.
overcards. And look at that, the ace comes here on the turn, and there's just nothing Jay can beat right now.
1,500.
And he's going to bet 1,500 here, Ed. And unfortunately, maybe he would still get action if it was a 9 that came there on the turn as opposed to the ace. But once the ace comes, there's just nothing that Jay can beat.
The company to be pre-qualified, and the players all regular.
I have to agree with SP Surf and Michael. If you really do like hot Asian women, then Los Angeles is the place for you.
And you would know.
Yes. This is, of course, following the thread on 2+2. You can go to 2plus2.com. Click on forums, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. The official Live the Bike thread for December 7th. You can also email us at liveatthebike.com. Limped
They
around
check
here.
the site out, PokerBlue.com
6 players.
site, to make sure that there's no direct link.
King
from that
6-3
site
here
to,
on the flop.
the poker site.
You don't have a big. There you go.
And look at this, we got King 3-6. It gets checked around. The turn's a 6, and look at this. Kenny wins. Got trip 6s here on the turn. And he checks it from up front. And now Yosh is
500.
thinking the pocket 5s are good. He's
Pocket
going to bet
5s might be
500. But how is Kenny Wynn going to really play this now? I mean,
Not legal in the
he's
United
out of
States,
position.
but .net sites are.
Well, I know you really hate when they flat call and then lead out, so maybe he's going to put his raise
He
in.
is going to check raise. He's going to make
Raise
it.
Raise 800.
He's going to make it 800 more, and Yosh is done with the hand.
No, they.
Of course, tonight is Poker Blue's Whale Night, sponsored by Poker Blue. If you go to pokerblue.com, download the software, and deposit $100, and you play 4 hours of poker on any 1-2 limit hold'em game or higher, or any no-limit game, you qualify for the big fat weekly free roll that's held on Sundays. And the winner of that free roll, they only get about 150 players a week, wins a seat to either your choice of the World Series of Poker main event next year, WPT main events throughout the year, I think WSOP circuit events, or you can get a couple of buy-ins and play right here on this game. If you take a look and play at, if you register and write in the bike as your deposit code. I mean, surely, we've been doing this game for at least 10 weeks. If you've got an average field of 150 players and you played all 10 weeks, that's like a 1 in 15 chance of winning a seat into a big
A big
tournament.
event.
And you only have
We
to
can
play
parlay it
4
into huge money.
hours of 1-2 limit hold'em or more. So check it out, pokerblue.com. Buttons moved over here to seat number 8. Limp, limp, limp. Look at this. Barry's going to raise it out of the blind here. He's going to make it 400, pocket 3s. And Yosh calls, King 9 suited.
All right. He calls.
And is Ed going to call here with Queen 7? And Vic calls with pocket 6s.
I kind of called out a turn right there.
And here we go. We've quickly got about a $1,600 pot, Ace, King 4.
Barry can follow through. He might be able to take this
Barry
pot.
likes to make continuation bets here. And he's going to bet.
600.
Well, that's
It's
kind
a
of
little
small. But Yosh quickly folds. And let's see what Vic does. He's got position, but he's not going to play. And I got to tell you,
Anyway.
I love the way that Barry makes continuation bets. And he shows the pocket 3s. Wow. And I know you're going to get on him for that. Especially
showing
against,
his hand,
especially
especially
against
to
a
Vic.
crafty player like Vic who might be able to
Right.
pick up a tell sometime in the future.
Right.
So does the Department of Justice do anything about that? Or?
Department of Justice
Where are our little Bart clips?
lets the.
I didn't hear
think
it
that-
yesterday.
Well, I think that they're not loaded in there. It's a little complicated when we have the Poker Blue commercial in there too. So, I mean, you got the real Bart here. We don't need Bart clips.
Tell them that they're not allowed.
But I like the one. My heart, Shirley, my heart.
But basically, they've said that.
It gets folded around here to the blinds, and Yosh has got Ace Jack of Diamonds here. He makes it 400 to go, and look at this. Avo's got Ace 10. Look at the 2 blinds here. Heads up. Oh, and Avo outflopped him here. King 10-4. Yosh checks, and Avo's going to bet.
About to spend resources.
He bets 600 here.
Down.
Let's see if Yosh is not going to get involved. Yosh does kind of play it passively there. I mean, you're more likely to see a continuation bet by Barry Woods than you are by Yosh, for sure.
Right.
Come here on those 2 days. So they pick this day. Basically, that's a Bravo or yeah.
And we're going to look at a new setup there.
What's his face? They've done as much as they could to discourage
No.
the companies from advertising these companies.
Take care.
sites.
December 26th and January 30th.
And again, Yosh is going to have the button over there in seat 1.
Take your table.
Hey, if you're looking for a Christmas gift to your poker friend or poker family friend or family member, how about a subscription to the archives? It's just $14.95 a month. Gets you access to all of our saved material, over 1,500 hours. Just click on the archives banner, upper left-hand corner of your screen, on liveathebike.com. Check it out. We're going to take a look at another chip count there. And Jay, he really pounded the table there with that King 9 full house. He's up to 25,000.
Wow.
Yosh has got 17,500. He's in second place. And Ed's down only about $1,000 from his rebuy that we saw a couple of minutes ago.
For 10.
Very good, very good.
And, Barry's up a little bit. So,
But
we've seen some
equate-
exciting action here so
A lot
far.
of really smart people equate this to prohibition. It's just non-enforceable, and people are going to play poker.
And the buttons
there's
over
people that
there.
are going to be advertised.
in the big line.
No sense for
Big blind's over there in Ed Shanazarian's hands.
NBC to
And
generate this revenue, really.
and the action here is on Mike Wu.
So, they've got to
He
show
folds.
that. A couple friends of mine produce for
Ken
NBC called the
Kookaroo
National
chicken
Heads Up
folds.
Championship.
Vic Park's going to limp in
They're
here.
going to advertise it.
400.
And
And
the branding
we got a
is strong
raise
enough
here
now that
by
everybody
Jay.
knows when
He's
they
going to make
say
it 400 to go. He's got ace-6 of diamonds.
They're actually advertising.
Now look at this. Ed calls with queen-4 of diamonds. And Vic's in there with 6-4 spades.
That's what you're advertising.
Here we go to the flop. Jack 10 Jack. Jay's hand with ace high is still good here. He's going to make a continuation bet here. He's going to bet 600. And the action's over to Ed with queen 4. And Ed gets rid of it. And Vic gets rid of it, and Jay takes it down. Well, Jay's play has been somewhat solid so far, Shirley, tonight.
Poker is now the #1 spectator sport on television.
Really?
Well, Yosh says poker is the #1 spectator sport on television. I've heard that. I got to be honest with you, I don't believe it. Are you
Well,
telling
I
me
mean-
that more people watch poker on TV than they do watch football? I mean, who's doing that demographic?
Well, I think that people are just
or
counting the fact that
soccer.
right that the ESPN runs and reruns, and eventually, yeah, more people will watch it.
Oh, because the show is played. Well, I
Plays so
gotta
many
tell you
times.
then. I mean, the LA poker scene must be probably one of the most watched shows in England because we're on half
All
of the
the
time on
time.
the poker channel.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on your definition.
I wonder if we went over there, we'll be famous. You would be.
Eventually, they got very minimum.
You're always famous. Who are you trying to kid?
How about us? Aces again.
He's gonna raise it up to 400 on the button. And Ken Berg's got pocket 9s. He's going to call. Big Park calls with ace-10 of diamonds. Jay's in there. And is Barry going to come in here
Barry's
with
probably
queen
going to
jack?
say, why not?
Television expensive.
Well, it's only 300 more.
Wow.
No, he folds.
I think one of their major
So here we go.
Four-player.
Four-way action is about an $1,800 pot. Ed is not in the hand, and here we go to the flop. 4-5-4.
Shirley, Shirley?
Ken's got an overpair, and so does Ava.
She has a site called Poker Babe.
Listen to this. Yosh is plugging your site.
And
I know, I hear that.
people go to her site. There's links to poker sites.
And Avo's going to bet here.
Every time
11.
her goes through that, she makes money.
$1,100 here by Avo. What is Ken Berg going to do?
Like a year ago, she was making $100,000 a year just from her website.
How much do you?
About 100 a year.
And look at this. Ken is going to check raise all in here. He's going to check raise all in. And that's about 3,000. And let's see what Avo's going to do. Avo's going to call. He's going to call, and I think he says, Ken, if you got a 4, you got me. The turn is a 7, and here we go to the river, and the river's a 10, and Avo takes it down. About a $7,000 pot there with aces. And there it is. Takes it down. Shirley, do you really make that much money?
Yeah, he said last year. I was like, oh, he didn't say this year, did he?
Why, did you make more money this year?
I'm not saying it.
Pessimist.
I told you I do well.
I don't know. I thought he said Shirley made $800,000 last year, but I might have heard wrong.
You heard wrong. You heard wrong. He said last year she made 100,000.
Oh.
800.
Internet poker site. It's launching in January, and they're starting with a
Man.
budget of $100 million.
Man, I'm having trouble with my wireless mouse here. I think it died on me. Damn. Tech people, help me.
I
You
don't know
broke it from
much
your
of the
screaming.
details, but because I've got
And seat 5 there, Ken Kukuru-Berg, he's going to rebuy for 5,000 behind.
they've already signed a lot of contracts, for their shows and everything.
Limp. Here by Jay.
350.
And we got a raise here by Barry Woods with Ace King. He's going to raise it up to 350. And Yoshi's going to call with a dominated hand here, Ace 10 of spades. And Jay's in there with 8-9 offsuit. And here we go to the flop. Barry's the pre-flop raiser. Jack 5-9. Yoshi's got a flush draw. Let's see what Barry does if he makes that continuation bet. And he does. And Barry has bet here. I don't know how much it is yet. And Yoshi's called. And Jay is called. Jay has the best hand here with second pair. Here we go to the turn. Turns a spade. Yoshi's made the nut flush. Pot's about $2,700 right now. And let's see what Barry's going to do. Yoshi's got the nuts. Barry's going to bet again, it looks like. No, he's going to bet big. 2,000?
It's about the pot, right?
Little under the pot. And Yosh just calls again. Playing it slow again. Now Jay's got the 8 of spades in his hand with a pair. Boy, I can't imagine he can overcall now.
Most people Jay, sometimes.
And the pot now is about $6,700. 2,000 for Jay to call.
Jack. What kind of jack? I don't know. But
And the action is over to Jay here.
I love all cards, Ed.
He's still thinking about it. I can't imagine that he can overcall here with a pair and a spade. Look, Barry's really representing an overpair, or at least ace-jack here, isn't he? I mean, he's bet twice. And Yosh is called in between, and Jay lays it down. And Barry's drawing
And hopefully,
dead.
hopefully Barry won't fire out one more time.
Lots of 6,700. Here we go to the river. Oh, look at that. A little bit of an action killer. River's a spade. Although, can Barry use this as a bluff card?
He's
going to
not
bet
gonna
again.
stop.
He bets 2,000 here again. And the pot now is 8,000. What is it? It's 8,700. Now, Yosh doesn't have the nuts here. 3-6 of spades he could lose to. But, I mean, I got to think you got to put a value raise in here just in case, Barry has the king of spades, and he does raise. He raises the minimum. And Barry can't call here with
No,
the
he
red
can't.
ace king to Yosh, can he?
No.
No, he's going to get away from it. And Yosh is going to take down over a $10,000 pot there. Good attempt there by Barry, but Yosh had the goods.
Yeah, well, Yosh calls on the flop, be a little suspicious. He calls on the turn. He don't
Yeah.
fire again on the river. A lot of times you can push Yosh off of a good hand.
Well, I
But
thought.
once he called again on the turn, you should know you're not getting him off the hand.
Well, I got to tell you, I thought that Barry, the spade on the river was a bad card for Barry because I think he thought it was just one more card he could use as a bluff. Little did he know that Yosh had turned the nut flush, so he was in big trouble. And the button moves over to Mike Wu. And we've only seen him really play one hand, and he badly, he played it pretty badly. Limp here.
You missed him out. You missed out on him last week. He got in the game 45,000.
really?
And the pot is limped around here. Jack 8-3, couple diamonds. And this has been a really entertaining game so far.
Yeah, it has.
Now Jay's going to come out and bet here. He looks like he bets a little under the size of the pot, 400, 300. With king 8, he's got second pair.
He does have the best
And
hand.
it looks like it is the best hand. Well, Ken's got queen, and he's not even
He's
getting
not getting
involved.
involved.
Yeah. And Jay's going to take it down. Jay really hasn't been out of line. He did take kind of a long time there to make that fold with the 8-9 of spades, but or with the 8-9 with the 8 of spades. But unbelievable. Look at this. We got a poster here. I haven't really seen him on the thread before. Roswell. He says he played with Ed last week, and he told the friend, or his friend told him that they should put a GPS on that guy's ass wherever he plays.
GPS, yeah.
On Ed's
and then,
ass.
Right, and
Yeah.
then follow him wherever he plays.
Right.
Track him.
400.
Now we got a raise here by Barry Woods. He made it 400 to go. He's got ace king of spades, and it looks like he is in early position, early to mid position. Look at this. He's going to get called by a lot.
Yeah,
of
he did.
5-way action, $2,000 pot. Let's see if Barry makes a continuation bet here if he misses. Well, he's got it. He's hit the ace, but he has no heart.
Right.
But he does have the best hand. Ace, queen, 4.
Right.
It's a $2,000 pot. And look at this. Jay's going to come out and bet. He's got ace with the 6. He bets
And it's a
500.
move in
And look
there.
at this. Barry's going to raise.
He didn't
Makes
move
it
in.
2,000.
He only has about 1,000 left. I would
Yeah,
just
he's
stick
really
it
on the
all in
short
there.
stack
Yeah.
there.
Kenny wants lots of
He makes it 2,000 to go. It's 1,500 for Jay to call.
And Jay probably will call.
And let's see what Jay does here. He makes the call. Pot is now $6,000. Now, did he make the call or did he move all in here? He's just making the call. The turn is a deuce, and you got to think Barry's going to push here. It's a $6,000 pot. Barry's going to move the rest in. Looks like a little over 1,000. And Jay quickly calls. We've got about an $8,500 pot. Barry's going to need to dodge a 6 or a heart here. And it's good that two players aren't playing, making deals in this game, Shirley. And the river's a heart! And Jay's got the 6 of hearts. And unbelievable, Barry Woods has gone broke. Wow. And then he's going to get up here. Looks like he's going back to his
I've
bankroll.
never seen him get upset.
Yeah, he's never got phased like that. Oh, look at this. He called Jay the worst player he's ever seen in his life. Wow.
Wow.
He's emotional. He's getting emotional there on the table.
Well, that's a big lesson I need to teach him. You don't tell the worst player you've ever seen that he's the worst player.
Well, I'm getting word that Barry's 10,000 behind, which means he's got to be...
in for 10, so.
Yeah.
What did you think I was betting? What did you think I was betting? I don't care what you're betting. I care what I'm betting.
And Jay, boy, he's one of the big winners here tonight. He's got well over 30,000
Probably 30,000.
there.
Yeah.
Chelsea baby. Chelsea baby.
400.
And we've got a raise here by Ed. And Ed's been remarkably quiet. And no one's going to play with him. He has ace-jack offsuit. And he takes it down there without contention.
Some of the
2009.
older records of mine found Frankie Valley in Fort
Live straddle here.
And we got a live straddle here, the first of the night, and it looks like it's by Yosh. So it's a $200 forced blind, and Yosh will have the option when it comes back to him. Limp here by Ed, looks like 7-10 of hearts. Limp over there by Jay. King 4 offsuit. Well, we're getting really creative now with our pre-flop standards.
Do you want me to sing for you?
And Barry's going to complete out of the big blinds. And Yosh here is going to check. So $800 pot, 4 times 200, 4-way.
Then you wonder why I
Queen 8 deuce here. Looks like Barry has the best hand. But he checks from up front.
He checked, I checked, right?
And it gets checked around.
Where's the button?
It's over here.
Jay has the button. The turn's a 4. Let's see if Barry's going to lead now with his 8. No, he's going to check here again. And look at this. Ed's going to bet 200. And Jay calls, and Barry overcalls.
Everybody?
I don't see what Ed was betting there. Pot is now 1,400, and the river's a 9, and it looks like Barry has the best hand here.
You check?
I check.
Okay, 200.
Wow, and Ed bets 200 again. Jay calls, and can Barry overcall here again? He does. And
That's
he's gonna-
frustration.
He's going to take down over
going
a
to take down the pot.
$2,000 pot there with
That is good.
8-10.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't throw your hands.
And Ed says he's got
I'm
9s,
sorry.
and Barry almost mucked his hand.
And then he said,
I don't have.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Wow.
Well,
Ed declared his hand as a 9, and Barry mucked the hand. Well, maybe we can make an exception here if the floor man, because we have the cameras, we have the hands on camera. This is interesting. This is going to be an interesting hand. Ed declared his hand wrong.
right, he said he had a 9. He did
Yeah.
not have a 9. and
Barry
did
had the
muck
best hand here on the board. And this is going to be interesting.
Pair of 4s and Barry claims
I had
a
8-10.
pair of 8s.
We have it on camera that Barry had 8-10.
Right there. It'd be right on top.
People thought it was that.
Well, this is interesting because I don't.
Give the
I
4
mean,
in the pot. Let's get those
Nobody
cards.
said that.
Yeah, but if you throw it away, guys, they're gonna give it to the best hand right now.
Barry, I'm sorry. I really thought
I guess they're going to give it to Jay.
There's no gauge there.
I guess they can't resolve it if Barry mucked his hand.
Well, I mean, the rule is a rule, you know. I mean, just because you have it on camera, I guess it's up to Barry to protect his own hand.
And Barry does not look too happy there.
No, he needs to go take a walk. Calm down.
Yeah. Well, you know, if they were heads up, though, isn't it a different rule? If Ed says, I have a 9, and the guy mucks, and he didn't have a 9, isn't that a retrievable hand?
Actually, the rule is if someone says you win and you muck your hand, then that person gets it.
No, that's, I don't know. I don't know what the rule is there, but...
Meanwhile, I had the 9. He walked me out of the pot.
Well, I guess Barry does have to protect his hand. And again, they weren't
Right.
heads up, so that's why Jay... I know that Jay actually... The ruling is that Jay probably is going to get it.
200.
I mean, I know that they weren't heads up, and Jay turned over King 4. But if they were heads up, I mean, everyone always says, well, once the hand's mucked, it's mucked. Well, BS. That's not true. I've seen floor men go into the muck and retrieve hands. Anyways, we're going to get to the next hand. Ace, Ace, King here. And the pot was limped around. And look at this, 10 Kookaroo Birds.
He
Got true
checked,
bases,
yeah.
and he checked it, of course. And now he's going to bet. He's going to bet 300. And it's going to get over there to Abo, who's got a king. But I got to tell you, I mean, if Ken bets here, I almost put him on an ace, surely. Because would he really bet a king here? I just don't buy it. And if he does have a king, it's better than my king. If I'm Abo with king 7.
Oh, he mucks it.
Yeah, throw my ace away.
Right, Ed.
Too much.
If the hand was retrievable, you could see what it was, but he threw it right into the pot.
And that's what Yosh is actually saying. If the hand was retrievable, they might have been able to retrieve it. But I guess Barry just threw it right in the muck. So that's why it wasn't
I got a
valid
small
there.
on the button.
And that was over a $2,000 pot.
Right.
But again,
God, I could do something really good with $2,000.
yeah.
Small on button.
Again, like I said, anyone who says that once a hand is mucked, it's mucked, baloney in a cash game. It is not automatically dead. You know, I don't care what they say, because I've seen it retrieved before.
Well, under certain circumstances.
Yeah, of
but
course,
you
in certain
still
circumstances.
are.
After you do it all.
It's up to you to protect your own
No,
hand.
absolutely, I understand that. And Mike Wu is going to raise there with pocket tens. But I just hear
That's why you
people...
never listen to idiots at the table, and I'm not saying Ed. I'm just talking about people in general. You just can't
No,
pay
I
attention
know.
to what they're saying.
And Ed's not an angler. He probably did
no,
think he was...
well,
you
he
know,
did, because as soon as he turned it up, I mean, he said, "Don't throw your hand away. Don't throw your hand away."
Right.
I misread my hand.
Right.
I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. We
Right.
know he didn't do it on purpose.
But what I'm saying is that commonly you'll be at a table and people will say, well, once it's in the muck, once it's in the muck. Well, that's not necessarily the case. The muck is not absolute in this game. At least it's not in California, okay? I mean, that's all I can speak for. Limp here, a couple
It can't
limpers.
just limp with ace queen.
Yeah, he's in under the gun. Ace
Yeah.
queen offsuit. He limps. We're gonna see 7-way action here,
Is it 7? It's like 6.
or
Seven.
six-way action. $600 pot,
C3 there. Ed flopped the flush.
and he checked it. Now,
Ken has top pair queen
wow,
of hearts.
and he's got the second nut flush draw. And
Right,
look at this,
top
Vic
pair.
Park's got a set of threes, and he's going to raise. Oh my! Ken has bet, Vic has raised, and let's see what Ed does.
It's like a 2,000.
And he's going to make it 2,000, and that almost screams maybe he flopped the flush or two pair.
Well, yeah.
What is Vic going to do here? This is going to be really interesting.
Vic might even know, that Ed has
But the
flush.
thing is that Vic is on the
he
short
has,
stack
right, that's
here.
what I'm saying. He has 2,000.
Could Ed do this with something like Ace 3 or Jack 3? That's the issue. That really is the issue. A bet here by Ken. Vic is raised. Ed is check raised here to 2,000.
Right.
I think Ken needs to get
That's
out of the
pretty
hand
powerful.
now. I mean, at this point, especially if Ed's deep. I think Ed is fairly deep. He's got 9,000.
Cool.
It's 2,000 here.
2,000.
Unless he thinks, let's play a devil's advocate, Shirley. If I hit a heart and Ed's flopped the flush, will I still get all his money if I make this call here?
Right.
But he does fold. And what is Vic going to do? I got to tell you, I don't mind the all-in
I
here
don't,
because I
yeah.
think Ed could do this with two pair. And, Vic, he's an underdog, but obviously he's got draws to pair the board.
Yeah, I do.
And Ed does have a flush.
How much to force a pair?
So we'll see how much it is here.
17, 18, 19.
It's only 1,900 more, and this pot's going to be about $5,000.
19, 19.
I don't think Ed makes deals anymore, so here we go. Turns an ace right off the bat, Shirley, and Ed's drawing dead. And Vic's going to take it all
Wow.
right off the bat. First card. Wow.
He did win the collection pot with that, so he
Yeah.
does have to pay the collection for the table, but I'm sure he doesn't mind.
And again, I don't really mind that play by Vic because there are other
He
hands that
doesn't-
Ed
right.
are going to do
and
that.
he didn't
with.
have many chips, so.
Yeah.
That was collection, okay?
I can't fucking. I mean,
Wow. And Ed curses at the table. And Shirley, look at this. Did you post your iPod playlist?
I posted like my top 150 songs or something. I mean, I have like 1,200 songs on there. I'm not going to post all of them.
You're a rap girl, huh?
I am, yeah,
Hip hop girl.
right.
Puff,
But,
are you a fan of Puff Daddy?
No.
No?
No.
How about Nelly?
Yeah, some of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite, well,
You gotta love
are Ice-T and
suburban rap.
Kanye West.
Rap, Nelly. Suburban rap, right? Yeah. Limped around here. Four-way action, $400 pot. Queen, 9, king with a couple of hearts.
Hey.
And Kevin's going to bet here with top pair. He bets 400.
Hold on 1 second. Get this hand.
And he's probably...
What's up?
Oh, wait a minute. He got a call there by Ed. With 5-10 off suit? He's chasing for a gut
Yeah,
shot
he
to the
is.
10. My
He's
goodness.
a jag.
And it goes
He's
check,
not-
check, and the river's a 3, and Ken is going to get it there with, looks like the king. Unless Ed bets here at the end. Well, he's only going to bet 300 here at the end. And Ken calls. And Ed's got a bluff. And I don't know why Ed was allowed to play that hand when he's on
Well,
the phone.
yeah, well, you see Donna, she's like wanting to smack him upside his head, but she can't. He's going away.
Well, I guess. The button's going to move over to seat 4. I'll keep. Okay, next hand. Limp here, limp. It's like Yoshi's got king, jack, spades there in seat 1. And the pot is going to be limped around here. 6-way action. $600 pot. 8-4-6. And Mike has got a flush draw, but Jay is going to bet here with ace-6. He's going to bet 300. And Kenny Wynn, boy, does he play tight over there in seat 8. He's going to
Yeah,
fold.
he has been.
Yosh folds. Now, Mike's got a pretty powerful hand here. He's got a gut shot to the 5 plus diamonds. And he actually has overcards. So he's favored here with 2 cards to come. Turns a 5. There's the straight. Let's see what Jay does here now. So Mike has got the straight, and he's got a free roll to diamonds. But he's not really free rolling because Jay doesn't have a straight. And I think Mike is pretty short. Jay bet 600 here. And is he going to try to play it slow here, Shirley, with just like a little bit of chips left here? Try to have Jay keep firing in here? Maybe hope that Jay pairs up or makes 2 pair here or something?
Make something, but it's like,
Uh,
you put it in a raise?
I think he's raised the minimum
7
here.
more.
Well, he's made it 700 more, so just over the minimum. And at this point, Jay really needs to get away from the hand. He's played pretty well all night. And there's absolutely nothing he can beat out there. And
How much you have left?
look at this. He says, how much do you have
What?
left? Wow.
I'll put you all in.
Wow! Are you kidding me? Unbelievable.
And Mike says, okay.
And Jay, yeah, Mike's got a diamond
Yeah, I'll
draw,
do that.
and he's got a straight. The river's an ace, and Jay makes 2 pair. Unbelievable.
Straight? Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Count that first.
And he's going to take it down there with a straight.
3.
Unbelievable.
What's wrong?
300.
300 more?
300 more.
Good answer.
And there you go. Mike takes it down. He's going to double through.
Vic, don't ever talk to me again, okay?
You want the blind, sir?
And Ed is back to the table. Kenberg has got the button over there in seat 5. Big blind there. $100. That's 2 pink chips. Again, the chips are, white chips are hundreds. Pinks are 50s. Purples are 25s. Big gray ones are thousands. And light purple ones are
Up to 9.
5,000. Wow, Ed is raised here to 300 with Ace King, and Mike Wu's come over the top of him with Ace Jack. And I think that Ed might re-raise here. No, he's just going to call. He's going to play it slow. Look at that. He doesn't have any chips. But I don't think, even if the flop misses him, I still think he's going all in. Queen 10-3, misses both players. Ed checks. And Mike's going to bet here.
How much?
1,000.
He bets 1,000. But Ed doesn't have any chips, and he just calls. Unbelievable. $4,000 pot that turns in 8. And Ed has no chips. And it goes check, check, and the river's a deuce. And Ed's got the best hand here with Ace King. And it just gets checked down. And Ace King's going to take it. Wow, can't believe that Ed played the Ace King there on the short stack in that way. He ends up taking it down. Wow. And Ed gets some back.
Once you get the
There it is.
table, you have to what? Once you're drawn to be the table, you draw for me. That's what we are.
And again, I guess some of the posts are coming in because, again, we're on a 5-minute delay, Shirley. That was not an angle shoot by Ed. Shirley and I know Ed pretty well.
On which one?
Ed, misreading his hand.
Misreading his hand. No,
an
not
angle
at all.
shoot. It was a mistake.
Right.
Yeah. Now, if you're Jay, do you ever consider giving the money to Barry?
Me, yes.
Really? You, yes?
Yes.
Really? One of those
Yes.
competitive persons?
Right.
They're going to chop it around in the blind.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Because it is up to Barry, like I said, to protect his hand. So if he had turned it up and the dealer mucked and awarded me the pot when I wasn't deserving, I would give it.
Well, of course, and people are quickly pointing out that Jay's not going to give any money back to Barry after Barry just called him out,
The
saying he
worst
was the
player
worst
ever,
player
yeah.
on the worst player ever
Right.
in the whale game.
Right.
So there you go. I guess, like you said, karma.
Yeah.
Right? Good and bad karma there.
Well, hopefully Barry's regrouped and is ready to play.
a bad beat.
Hey, look at this. Ed says, let's see if I can give somebody a bad beat. He's going to limp in with 7-3 offsuit.
Well, he's not lying.
Limp here.
I'm not crying, dude.
And there, Barry's back to the
Oh,
table.
yeah, he doesn't look like he's regrouped. He's still bummed out.
You're a schmuck and you don't realize it yet.
Oh, wow.
Players.
And here we go here.
Who just called him a schmuck?
No, Barry just called somebody a schmuck. I think he called Ed a schmuck.
Oh, wow.
Wow. 10-5-3 here. Barry's got bottom 2 pair.
6.
And look at this. Vic is going to bet here with top pair. He bet 600. Let's see what Barry does. He's flopped 2 pair. Is he going to play it slow? 2 pair's pretty vulnerable. And let's see. I mean, you got to use the image that you're steaming here, right, Shirley? Can he make the check raise?
I think so.
And
But
he just calls.
He just
Wow.
calls.
And is Ed going to call? Is he going to overcall with bottom pair?
Got your 9s again? Oops,
And there it is. He's going to make the overcall.
How the
And
hell
Barry's
did
going to
you
need to dodge a 10 or an 8 here.
Once again, schmuck enters the word.
Oh, look at this. And Barry's still calling Ed a
Wow.
schmuck. The pot is $2,500.
Fuck it.
Turns to 10. There it is. Vic's got trip 10s. Barry played it slow. And he checks.
Well, hopefully he's going to be able to release it.
Let's see what Vic does here.
And especially since it's Vic that's coming into the pot. So
Wow. And Vic's going to bet. He's going to bet 1,500 here.
$1,500?
That's a $4,000 pot. 1,500 to call. And Barry looks like he's reaching for chips. He only has a
Wow.
pair of 5s. And he's going to make the call. What's going
tens
on
and
here?
5s with the 3 kicker.
Oh, my. $6,500 pot. And can Ed make the call with a lone pair of 3s? No, he folds. And Barry is now drawing dead. There's no card in the deck that can help him.
Check to you, sir.
He checks blind. The river's a deuce. And I think that Vic thinks that maybe Barry's got a 10, and he just checks it down.
He says,
Wow, and Barry turns over the 5-3.
huh.
And Vic takes down over a $6,000 pot
Now
there.
he'll confirm to everybody, yeah, I'm on tilt.
My goodness. Wow. And Barry's called Ed a schmuck a couple of times now.
You know, it's funny because I was thinking today when I was playing with him that he's one of the most easygoing guys
Yeah, I've never
that
seen
I've
him.
ever known.
Never seen him like this
Never
before.
see him, yeah, get mad, go on tilt, nothing.
Never seen him like this before. This is some incredible stuff. Only here at Live at the Bike. Again, we stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 6
All
to
right,
9
now we'll know
Pacific
for
time.
sure if he's on tilt. He has ace rag.
Ace rag, huh?
Touch raise.
We got a raise coming in here by Jay with ace jack.
How much has it been raised?
It's up to 500 total. 500 total bet.
And Ed's got a call with ace queen. He's limp called with ace queen. And Vic's in there with queen jack suited now. Barry's out. $1,500 pot. Look at Ed. He's got both players dominated here. Here we go to the flop. Chances are it's going to miss everyone. It actually
And
does miss
it
everyone.
does,
King
yeah.
9 deuce.
Vic has a gut shot.
He's got a gut shot and backdoor spades, but he checks to Jay. It's a $1,500 pot, and Jay bets 500 here. And I don't think that's enough to get Ed off the hand. He calls. And Vic calls, and we've got a $3,000 pot going to the turn. Turns a 10, and Vic's hit the gut shot. There it is.
I check.
Ed checks. What a turn card for Vic, and let's see how he's going to play it. It's a $3,000 pot. And Vic is going to bet immediately.
18.
He's going to bet 1,800 here.
$18 back.
And it looks like the action is over here to Jay. Pot is now 4,800. It's 1,800 to call.
Maybe I'll tip from this one too.
And, Jay's just got a gut shot to the queen now with the ace-jack. I can't imagine with Vic showing this much strength that he's going to make the call. And we've got some interesting emails coming in about that mucked hand. And look at this! Jay's going to make the call! Are you kidding me? Holy cow! The pot now And Ed overcalls. He overcalls. And the pot is 8,400. And Ed's drawing to one of the two remaining jacks here. Jay needs a queen, one of the two remaining queens.
Right.
Here we go to the river. No, it's a blank. And Vic's got the nuts. 8,400 in the pot. Both of these guys chased.
You know, both of these players have lost their mind.
Unbelievable stuff here live at the bike. And Ed's going to push the rest all in. And now, if you're Vic, do you think that Jay behind you has a good hand? Good enough to make a value raise to get a call? We know he doesn't. But what could Jay would have called with on the turn? Something like ace-king? Or do you just call and just hope, you smooth call here and you hope that Jay just overcalls with ace-king? That's probably the best play to,
I think a
way to
smooth
play
call.
this. Yeah. So Ed's bet here, and Vic looks uninterested, but he's got the stone-cold nuts. Ed's pushed in, looks like maybe 2,000 there. Pot's about 10,400. And I think that Vic is just going to smooth call here. We'll see. Unless he really thinks that Jay has a huge hand. Well, I think that he's going to try to think that maybe Jay's got something big enough to call a raise with here. Regardless, it doesn't matter. We knew Jay wasn't going to call, right? He's got ace-jack.
Well, you would think.
I mean, Jay's
I didn't
just
think he was going to call on the turn either.
He's gonna put a little Hollywood job, and he folds. And Vic's got the straight. He's gonna take down over a $10,000 pot, 12,000 to be precise. What a hand
So there was one really interesting post here
by a post
by
coming
Dave.
there
Yeah.
by Dave Jones.
Right. And at the bottom of the post here is he was talking about the hand where Barry mucked his hand accidentally, and it says. In the actual case, three-handed, it was a miscarriage of justice because the hand was retrievable by means of the video stream.
Well, it was
So,
retrievable.
I mean,
guess
it wasn't
depends.
retrievable from the muck,
Wow.
but in a sense, it was retrievable
Well, yeah,
because
but-
we have the video stream.
Well,
So.
let's do this whole email here. He's talking about Northern California casinos. If a player misdeclares his hand heads up
Right.
and causes the other player to muck, the pot goes to the player who mucked his hand,
Right.
which I think still might be the case here.
Right.
In the actual case, because it was three-handed,
Right.
because the hand was retrievable because of the video stream, it should go to Barry. But the issue is, this is the first cash game that's ever been televised. There are no rules about
Not
poker
rules
books
for this.
regarding video streams.
Right.
So it's totally uncharted territory. And I think that the floor man was ruling on the fact of what his rules were, in which the case that Barry threw his hand into the muck, an unretrievable muck because his hand basically got mixed up with the other cards.
You have an option.
So it's very interesting. And I think Yosh said if it was retrievable, they would have tried to retrieve it. Now, the pot's limped around here 4 ways. And what insanity last hand there. Queen, Jack, Deuce.
The whole night's kind of been insane.
300.
And Ed is 10,000 behind. And he's going to bet here
So
with
that's
Jack 3.
That's 30,000 now, isn't it, for him?
Probably.
I think it is.
He bets 300 here with Jack 3. And Avo has the best hand here with Jack 9.
He's in 4 at this point.
And the turn's a Jack. And uh-oh, both players have trips. And Ed might go broke
Ed.
here again.
Oh, wow. That's a bummer for Ed.
The case Jack. Ed is bet 500 here. And I was going to figure out how do I extract the money here when I'm out of position, right?
No, it's not. I'm waiting for him to call.
And let's see what Avo's going to do here.
I owe 400
And then a $500 bet.
and a $500 now.
Okay, pot square.
So the pot now, Shirley, I want to say, is about 1,300. And Avo just, let's see here. Avo's going to make a minimum raise. He's going to make it 1,000. Is it 1,000 more? And Ed calls.
Ed only calls.
Ed only calls. And here we go to the river. And the river's a 3!
Oh, wow.
Ed fills up!
Wow.
Unbelievable stuff. And Avo's going to bet. He's going to bet 1,500. And is Ed just going to
It
call?
looks like he's just going to call.
Oh, my, he just calls. Wait a minute. Yeah, he's just going
He
to call.
just called.
He just called. I guess he's scared of Queen Jack.
Jack 3.
What a river. And Ed takes down about a $6,000 or $7,000 pot. I got to say, though, I mean, Ed was behind some more money. He could have had all of Avo's chips, right? Was Ed 10 or 5,000 behind there? I might have called it.
I heard 10,000.
Yes,
Wow.
shit.
10,000 behind. We get where the Ed was 10,000 behind.
Big lent him 5 for
They
the
only
time
let him
being.
5,000, so he had another 5,000 behind. He could have had all of Avo's chips. Well, I mean, he could have had a raise at least on the river
Right.
there, surely. Unbelievable, and there's a case of not making the most out of that hand. Wow. Just crazy.
Good day, Eddie. Thank you.
Yeah, I would have. I thought you have Jack Queen. What did you have anyway?
Who the button moves over here to seat 2.
5 or
We got it limped around here.
3?
We have 4 people in the pot.
Less than a 3.
Flop at ace 9, 8. Nobody has an ace. Nobody has a flush draw. Nobody has bear.
Go ahead.
And there it gets checked around. The turn is a queen. And it gets checked around again. And the river's a deuce. And who's got the best hand here? King high?
That's good.
It is. Yeah.
Ed with king high?
I know no one had. Yeah.
There it is.
5 kicker.
And he takes it down. Little bit of. It's about $500 or $600.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
Come on, you saw the beat.
Luck to all of you.
Wasn't much.
And the button is going to move over here. To seat number 3.
Yeah, we're getting
Ed.
very lucky. With this 10,000, I'm 30,000 into the game. Hello, Jonah. Not to get
The button moves over here to seat 4.
man, get it from
And big blind here is in seat 5, and we're going to see the
Okay,
next
okay.
hand.
Nah, man, Mishinan, alam mo na magkikigin.
So what we see some really big time action here tonight.
That's all right.
Looks like we got, is it pocket jacks over there for Avo? Got a limp in there by Jay, and Avo's going to raise it up here. 450, 4 white ones and a pink. And Jay's got ace king off suit. He just limped in. Is he going to pull the limp re-raise here? Surely no, he just calls. So ace king against pocket jacks. And here we go, heads up. 4-4-3, not a bad flop for pocket jacks. And it gets checked to Avo, and he's going to bet.
700.
He bet 700. And is Jay going to get tricky or no? He's just going to call.
He's going to call.
Wow. Pot is now about $2,200. Here we go to the turn. It's a diamond, and Jay picks up the nut flush draw. And this is going to be a crazy hand. $2,200 pot, I believe. Has Jay checked it from up front here?
Well, Avo's putting in the bet, so I
Yeah.
guess he did.
Let's see
And
what
I
she's
don't
gonna
think
bet.
Jay's going to go anywhere.
He's bet 1,600. The pot's now 3,800, 1,600 to call. Well, you got to think, what did the guy call me with on the flop, surely? I mean, he limped in. And I got to tell you, if Jay were to check raise all in here, depending on how much Avo had behind him, if Avo was real deep, don't you think it would be a difficult call to make here with jacks? The
Yeah.
guy's played it like he's had a 4 the whole time, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but
I mean, it's difficult to put the guy in ace king.
it's difficult to put players on a 4
Yeah, well,
in a raised pot pre-flop, right?
but he did limp and then call. So
Right.
let's see what Jay's going to do here. How much does Avo have in front of him over there? There we go.
There we go.
He's got 5,000. I got to tell you, maybe the pot odds might dictate that he would call anyways. He's not that deep. And Avo's going to, I mean, and Jay's going to make the call here again.
Avo sits up in
How
his
big is your
chair.
bear, man?
$5,400. And Jay's got to catch a diamond, an ace, or a king.
Right.
Here we go to the river. And the river's a deuce. It's a safe card, and it just goes check,
Well, yeah, but
check.
it doesn't look like it's a safe card.
Yeah, but Jay
If
checked it
Jay,
from up front.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, he checked it from up front. And jacks are going to take it down there. There it is.
Good hand.
Wow. Unbelievable stuff.
I know I should not bet, but I'm so stupid.
The latest 3 hours. Put it on 3 hours?
You gave me 5, right?
Yeah, I gave you 5.
Wow, we have just seen some huge, huge hands here. I mean, this is some unbelievable stuff. Button moves over here to seat 5, Ken Berg.
Live.
That was stupid. That was stupid.
And the big blind is over there to Jay.
You want chips for those? I need the cat. I'll take the cat.
Limp, limp, limp here.
Yeah, technically we're not supposed to have the cat on.
And it's going to get checked here. And here we're going to see a flop here. Four-way action, $400 pot.
Ken's flopped a set.
Yep, 7-4 deuce.
Service.
And guess what, Shirley?
Service.
He bets here from the button. He bets 200.
Bottle of water.
He's not going to trap with the set, but this time he doesn't get any action. Wow.
Nobody had a pair.
Yep. We have an email here from Mark. Wait, you want to take a shot at that last name? Buangari?
Buanagura.
Buanagora. He says, this is why poker, we're talking about the hand with Barry and Ed, why poker should have a golden standard for rules. We should all know the right way when something goes wrong. What's the correct call? This is a huge problem in poker today. I guess there isn't really, is there not really a general set of...
Well, you know, they're doing that for the tournament rules with the TDA,
Yeah.
but not so much with the live action play.
And Mike Wu, he's going to raise here to 500. He's mixing it up. He's got pocket eights. Actually, Ed's got the queen 7. He limped from up front. And Jay called with a suited ace. 'Cause I've never really seen Mike, bring a hand in that wasn't really a good hand for
A
a
solid
raise.
hand?
Yeah, I thought he had queen 7 there for a second. But Ed makes the call. So we got a $1,500 pot.
Take one, you'll know what it is.
Going to the flop. Ace, king, deuce. Jay spikes the ace.
Check.
And look at this. It goes check, check. And Mike's going to make a bet here with pocket eights. He bets 1,000.
How much you have left, sir?
And look at this. Jay asked him how much he has left. And Jay's going to check raise all in with
Wow.
ace 3.
I'm on it.
And can Mike even make this call with pocket eights? I mean, there isn't much of a draw out there unless you think the guy's going to do it with, something like queen jack? And Mike folds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he would even do that.
No. And there it is. Jay takes it down. Again, if you want to follow a live thread that's started on the internet, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on forums, go to World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments, the Live at the Bike official thread for December 7th. And you can email us at liveatthebike.com. We are playing $5,100 no limit hold'em. And the white chips are $100 chips. The pink chips are $50 chips. And Yoshi's going to straddle here again.
This is one of the reasons I know Barry wanted to sit in this seat. Was because Yosh straddled.
Yeah. He wanted to be able to raise here.
You know what? I didn't catch why, but he just said, I want to sit in seat 1 because Yosh straddles, and I guess I didn't hear the rest of it.
Well, the pot is limped around here, and Yoshi's going to raise out of the straddle spot. Again, he's not showing his cards. The host of the game. He's got ace 8. So as commonly some of these players will do out of the straddle spot, there's $800 in dead money. He's going to raise with ace 8 offsuit. And it looks like he has the best hand, and he might take this one down without contention here. It's, I think, 400 more. Jay Mux and Barry Mux.
Good hand.
And Yoshi's going to take it down. And there it is.
No, I could beat a 6-2.
Barely.
So oftentimes, Shirley, you'll see that play. I know that that's a big fan, Corporation Mike, who's often one of the common players on our Friday night game, makes that move a lot out of the straddle spot. With any ace, any pair, people are going to limp in. Well, I'm going to raise it out of the straddle spot. And because of that, a lot of people who know that they've got an aggressive player in the straddle spot will limp in with a big pocket
hand,
pair. So. And this is a collection pot here. And it gets folded around. And of course, the collection in this game is per half an hour is $15.
$15 per half an hour.
And the way that the bike does it is the winner of the
pot, as long as it's $500 or more, will pay for every player on the table.
Yeah. So there you go. So a lot of times it makes people want to tighten up, right, in the collection pot, because they don't necessarily want to play the collection for everyone, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you can win a big pot, I wouldn't mind paying some collection.
Right. Got a $300 raise here by Mike Wu. He's got ace-4 of diamonds. Jay's going to call with ace-rag offsuit. Yosh is in there with queen-jack suited, and Ed's got Broadway offsuit, king-10. And here we go. We got a $1,200 pot here going to the flop. Mike Wu in seat 4, the pre-flop raiser. 6-deuce-4.
He did hit a pair.
Looks like he's got the best hand over there. And he's going to push the rest of his money in.
I don't think he's going to get a call.
I couldn't imagine. Unless, Ed wants to make the call with overcards here. We've seen him do it in the past.
He has done it.
1750 here. Now, Jay's got a gut shot wheel draw to the 5. Of course, anyone with a 3 would have a straight if a 5 came.
Oh no, now he's going to call just for that.
And this is unbelievable. He's going to make the call with a gut shot. His overcard is no good because Jay has ace-4. Jay would have to catch running 3s here or 5. He makes the call with a gut shot. And Mike's got to think he's beat here. This is like a $5,000 pot.
Oh, you mean his... Okay, I finally get it. You mean that his ace is no good because Mike would make big 2-pair.
Turn is an 8. And the river's a deuce, and Jay hands Mike Wu the money.
Right.
Like you said, you don't necessarily win it. The other placers lose it.
Please don't scare me like that. Thank you.
And that's unbelievable.
That was a nice
stuff.
gift for Mike.
Wow.
Well, that's why I called because it is
That's incredible stuff.
Right, plus you're running good.
Well, you had a 4, I had a 3.
Absolutely amazing.
You both need a 5.
I mean, Shirley, I'm sitting here in disbelief. If you're anywhere within, 100 miles of this game, you should be speeding here. And I don't endorse speeding, 65. But my goodness, players are giving money away. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is some of the most questionable play that we've seen here on Live at the Bike in one of the biggest games that we have on.
Please let's be consistent.
You know what? Raise up.
We got a raise here. And Mike Wu raised it up here in early position with a little suited connector, or gap suited connector, 9-7 of diamonds. Ken Berg's called with ace-10 of spades. Yosh is called with the queen-10.
Slow play alert.
And again, these guys are really calling with hands that can easily be dominated. This is the first time we've seen Wu come in with a hand that wasn't a premium hand in early position. These guys are calling with ace-10, queen-10 offsuit. Here we go to the flop. Jack 5-5. Let's see if Mike Wu can make a continuation bet here. Everybody's missed. No, not this time. And it gets checked over to Yosh. I mean, would you really call Mike Wu's under the gun raise with queen-10 offsuit there? Turns a 5. And Ken Berg's got the best hand here. Who wants this pot most? Look at this. And
basically, like Ed's saying, here, take it.
Yeah.
Take it. And then even,
And here we go to the river. And the river's a 7. And Mike backs into
the
the
person,
best hand.
the person with the worst hand,
And now
just
he's
ends
gonna
up
bet.
winning it because nobody's eager to take that pot. I guarantee you, Gary Greenstein wouldn't have missed a bet there. I mean, that's what he's talking about. Those pots that people don't want. Those are the pots that you need to. Those are the ones that are going to make you a winning player.
I just, like I said, you know, Mike Wu, this is the first time we've seen him come in with a raise like that in weeks with 7-9 of diamonds. I just don't see how, you know, calling with easily dominated hands can be positive expectation, especially when Wu doesn't bet when he misses the flop. Do you really think you're going to win a lot of money with something like Queen 10, unless you hit some sort of two pair?
Right, no.
Where Mike Wu shares your top pair?
Yeah.
You know? And I'm usually not harsh on Yosh there, but, you know, it's got to be said. We don't hold it back here.
Right.
Unscripted, unedited here, live at the bike.
Make it 800.
And we got a raise here. And it's Ed. He's going to raise out of the small blind with pocket nines.
I think I was a German Shepherd in previous
He made it 800 to go. Jay had limped in with deuce 7 and diamonds over there in seat 7.
All right.
But hey, that's just my opinion.
I'll call you.
And look at this. Jay's going to make the call.
Wow,
7.
seven deuce.
Folks, we're playing with real cash here. Real
You wouldn't
cash.
think it was, huh?
And Yosh calls with Jack 10 off suit.
Yeah. Forget the Queen 10. I'm playing Jack 10 now.
Well,
But it is against Ed.
It is Ed. And this is just some unbelievable stuff. Wow. And we've got a $2,100 pot going 3 ways. Ed's got the best hand here. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Ace, Jack, Queen. The question is, can Ed bet big here? Well, he's only going to bet here
He bet
800. Yeah, but what can Yosh beat right here, though?
Not much,
Well, he's
but
gonna make
he's
the
going to
call.
call. Maybe trying to hit his straight.
Well, here we go to the turn. Turns a 3, and Yosh has got the higher heart.
Now he does have a heart draw.
1,000.
And Ed's going to bet 1,000 now. And the pot now is about 4,700. It's 1,000 for Yosh to call. What does Yosh put Ed on? Again, he usually shuts down, right, Shirley? But Yosh is going to make the call, and Yosh is in great shape here. Approaching a $6,000 pot, and the river's a queen. And Ed's going to bet 1,000 again, and let's play the hand back in your head. What does Jack 10 beat right now? But he's only bet 1,000 into about a $6,000 pot. So Yosh is in essence getting about 6-to-1 odds on his money. But if you play the hand back, what does Jack 10 beat?
Right.
I mean, unless Ed is capable of making these bets with pocket 8s and pocket 9s, and apparently
Well, Ed
he is.
normally, Ed normally doesn't fire out unless he has something. And he doesn't
and
have
Yosh
much, yeah.
muffs it. He folds the hand. Wow. And again, though, I mean, I got to say, I mean, regardless of how much the pot is laying you, what does Jack 10 beat there?
Right.
Flush good for
Oh,
you?
well, it beats nines in
Beats
this case.
pocket nines, yeah.
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 Huh?
But I can't fault Yosh for folding there. Actually, I probably would have folded a
absolutely
little
If I had a
sooner.
flush, would it be good for you?
And again, if you just play the hand back in your head, it's just... Huh. I mean, this is just some unbelievable stuff here, folks. And Yosh said, you made a flush on the turn? You're kidding me.
400.
No, he didn't. We got a $400 raise here by Yosh. King, Queen offsuit.
And that's enough to take it down.
Yes.
There it is.
Come on, Jake just played deuce 7. What could he have mucked this hand?
Yep.
Don't tell him anything, Ed. Keep him guessing.
Okay.
And it looks like Jay is going to get up from the table here, Shirley, one of the action players. I guess he's happy with his win. He's got
He's packing up with $25,000.
I mean, he's one of the big winners.
Yeah,
of
if he
the
did
night.
start with 5,000, we don't know if he. I don't know if he rebought, but if he didn't, you know, he won $20,000. That's pretty good.
Heard off. Yeah. He's supposed to play till 8. We started at 5. Huh? So he said he's going to leave him. So he said that ahead of time?
And Yosh, I guess he made an agreement to Yosh that he was going to play till 8, so...
Well, he's not quite there.
I guess the players at the table make agreements that they're going to play until 8 in this game. So the pot is limped around here.
think he actually has somewhere to go.
Yeah, we've got three-way action here. Queen, Jack 7, couple clubs.
200.
Yeah, this guy he played every. No, he was got the club.
And we get a bet here by Barry with top pair, and he's going to take it down there with the Queen 4.
We started a quarter to 5,
It's close enough.
and it's like 7 more minutes.
Ron's not blatantly coming here to get a free.
And it looks like we got a lot of new posters here on the 2+2 thread, Shirley. Again, I guess we have a ghost post here.
Does that mean his first site?
Yeah, by
Right.
Big Paul 25. He says,
Right.
can you give it a shout out to FNet Poker? There's 150 of us watching you guys.
And love
There
our
you
show.
go.
Thanks. And then someone asked about Omaha High Low. And, you know, I don't know if Steve's site has rules on it, but it definitely has some guidelines on starting hand requirements and Omaha strategy, high-low strategy. Steve is one of my best friends, Steve Badger, and he has a site, playwinningpoker.com, and he has an
Yeah.
Omaha high-low strategy
Yeah.
section that's actually very, very good.
Yeah, we had a raise here by seat 2. Pocket
And if you have a
sixes.
specific rule or whatever, just send me an email. I'll answer it.
Pocket 6's raise here, and Ed is called with ace 7 offsuit. And seat 9 is in there with Jack 10.
Seat 9, that's Barry.
Yeah, and look at that, Ken's in there with ace deuce of diamonds. And the flop comes Queen Jack 5.
Barry does have the best hand.
Remember, Avo raised pre-flop, and Avo's not going to make a continuation bet. And look at Ken Berg, he's going to bet. He's going to bet 300 here. And Barry's going to make a check raise with Jack 10. He's going to make it 800 more. I was going to say, you know, that might be a case where you just fold to Ken, because he doesn't usually put a bet in there.
Right.
But Barry chooses...
Well, actually, or you think...
Or maybe
well,
he doesn't
would
have
be,
much
yeah,
if
he would be
bets.
trapping if he had a hand,
Well,
so
we-
he probably's just been in position.
Well, we
What?
We did see him bet a set of deuces
We did.
earlier a couple of
Yes.
games ago. So the button moves over here to Vic Park, seat 6. So I guess apparently some of these guys make a commitment to Yosh that they will play at least till 8 o'clock.
But it's not 8.
No, it's not.
So it looks like
We're barely halfway through the
Ken
show.
Berg moved around
Yeah.
to seat 8,
Or seat 7 there, I think.
to seat 7, okay. And
Kenny Wynn moved to seat 5, right?
300.
I'm not saying
Oh,
anything.
is that?
no,
oh, that's a
no,
new
that's
player.
not. That's a new player.
Sorry.
I think she said Sean.
Sean? Okay. Well, we got a $300 raise here by Ed with ace 10. And look at this, seat 5 calls with ace deuce of hearts. And Yosh is in there with ace 5.
Wow.
So all 3 aces accounted for. And there's only 1 ace left. The flop comes
And
Queen
Ed's,
Jack 9.
Ed's firing out there.
Couple clubs. And Ed bets. He's got an open-ended straight draw. And he's going to take it down. There it is. And
Oh, are you going to take your big blind, or are you going to sit there and stare?
Button's going to move over here in seat 9.
Okay. This time you do me a favor.
And the big blind here is in seat 2.
Martin, that? What else?
Under the gun here, Ed 8-4 offsuit. He's not going to play. Mike Wu's got pocket 10s. He's going to raise it up to 300. And Barry has called.
In position with 7-9 of diamonds.
Yep. And Avo's called.
Standing by the wall.
We've got 3-way action here. Avo's called with Queen 7 of clubs over there. The blind. The flop comes Ace Jack 9. Not a great flop for pocket 10. And look at this. Avo's going to lead right in with the scare card. Flush draw. He's going to bet here 500. And Mike's going to fold. Look at that. Barry's going to fold as well.
When I called you, he says he's about an hour away.
Power of the semi-bluff right there. And you know that Mike Wu is probably going to fold. He might fold pocket kings there, right?
Totally screwed up now.
You know?
Yeah,
You
well,
know? I mean, what would you do with a couple people behind you? You know, it's tough.
Ken was here. He won
Oh, he quit? He quit. Yeah.
So again, we got a player there in seat 5. That's Sean.
There's quite a few people. There's like 4 or 5 people waiting.
Sean Choi.
Yep.
Mark, yeah, I was thinking. I thought Simon was first up.
And you got to wonder, I mean, I love Barry Woods, but did he possibly drive Jay away by calling him names?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
No?
I think Jay's just going to take his money and
Yeah.
probably the most he's ever won.
But again, you got to
You know
keep
the worst
your
players
control,
in poker
right?
can't win $20,000 on a regular basis. And I'm only saying that because Barry said that.
Well, Barry's got pocket 7s here. He raised it to 300. Yosh looks like he smooth called on the button with pocket 10s. We've got a $1,200 pot going 4 ways. King, 6, Jack. Well, a couple overcards for Barry. Let's see what Sean does here with King, Queen. He's going to lead out immediately.
1,000.
He bets 1,000. And Barry folds. I got to be honest with you. Barry's one of the type of players where I might check raise him because it looks like he automatically bets every flop that he raises pre-flop. Not necessarily saying that's a bad thing.
Who's that, Barry?
Barry, yeah. You know, if that was checked to him, he might have bet there with pocket 7s. But Sean takes it down. There you go. And again, we go back to that hand. I mean, it's unbelievable that Ed doesn't have a good chunk of Avo's money, right? I mean, Jack 3 against the Jack 9. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, Barry has way invested it here. He is 10-9.
Yep. And look at this.
First
Ed's
Ed,
got 8-10.
10-8.
And I think did Barry bring this one in for a little bit of a raise?
I turned my head.
And Ed's going to bet 500, and Barry quickly calls. And here we go. We got about $2,000 pot going. The turn's a Jack. Both players have straight draws now.
Let's go another 500.
And Ed's going to bet 500 again. Let's see what Barry does. I think he's going to raise.
He's going to raise.
He's going to raise it up. He's going to make it the minimum. He makes it 1,000, and Ed quickly calls.
Yes, he does.
And here we go, over a $5,000
Well, Ed does
pot
have a straight draw, too.
to the river.
He doesn't get there.
It's a 4.
Barry has the best hand.
Let's go 800.
And Ed's going to put a little blocker bet. He bets 800. And this might block Barry from raising.
Come on, Barry. Call. We know that we've talked about this with
What could the 4 have helped here? Could it help the straight?
Barry, that when Ed bets strong, he has it, and $800 in that pot's not that strong. It's
$800 into about a $5,000 pot
right.
here. It is a blocker bet. And you would think that Barry would probably just call. Ed has named his price, but Barry's got the best hand. And he does make the call.
I have one pair.
Which one is it this time?
I'll open it for you. So
Well, 9-10 is going to take it down there. Unbelievable. And there it is. So Barry, he's taking his lumps tonight, but man, this is some pretty incredible stuff here. But again, I mean, actually, in actuality, Ed did name his price there on the river, right?
You want to play mostly that 1 and 2? Yeah.
And the button moves over here to seat 3. Got a limp in here by Barry with King Jack. And it looks like the pot is limped around here 6 ways. Ace 8-3 here, all spades. And Yoshi's got ace deuce of hearts, so I don't necessarily know if you like that flop, and it gets checked around. Turns a queen. Now, Avo's got the second nut flush draw with a pair of queens now. But Yoshi's going to bet. He's going to bet 500. And Avo calls. Pot is $1,600 now. And is Vic going to call it the Jack of Spades here? We haven't seen Vic make a move. He's usually good for 1 move per night, Shirley. But he folds. And Yoshi's going to need to dodge some cards here on the river. And the river's an ace, and that gives Yoshi trips. Let's see if Yoshi's going to put a little value bet in here now. He's going to bet 1,000. Wow, he might get Avo to pay him off here because that ace paired. And Avo's going to make the call. And Yoshi's going to take down a pretty big pot right there. I mean, we've just had pot after pot after pot tonight. And Avo just got stuck on that one. Unbelievable. Again, tonight's game is sponsored by Poker Blue. If you want to play 4 hours of any limit game on Poker Blue, 1, 2, or higher, after depositing $100, Shirley,
Right.
you
Or
qualify.
any no limit.
Or any no limit game, you qualify for the big fat weekly free roll. And the winner of that free roll, which usually gets anywhere between 100 and 150 players, wins a seat to the World Series of Poker main event, or your choice of WPT main event seats, or you can play right here on Live at the Bike. Check it out, pokerblue.com. Three-way action here, limped around, Queen 3-6 Rainbow. And actually, is it heads up here? Heads up.
Ken is money, I'm not in.
Check here. Turns a 7, gives Ken a straight draw. Check again, and the river's a king. Both players hit top pair.
Me too.
And they just
And they
checked
both
it
checked
down.
again.
Wow.
That's strange.
Maybe Ken trying to induce a bluff there, but Ed there didn't bet either.
Started off pretty rough.
And, you know, Ed takes it down there with the better kicker.
When it comes to berries,
There it is. Look at that. CW Siggy put up a link to Play Winning Poker.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
Steve
that.
Badger's site about Omaha High Low.
Right. And it is really good.
There are some systems that you can use if you're a total beginner that might help you, you know, figure
But
out starting hands.
I'm not sure if he's really asking about like starting hands and stuff like that. I think he's actually asking about the rules, like you have to play 2 cards, and
Right.
always 2 cards, and
Right.
stuff like that. If there's 3 cards, 8 or lower, they aren't paired on the board, then split pot.
Yeah.
Probably the more basic stuff, not really starting hand requirements, which he can get into after he learns the.
Now Yosh raised there to
Fundamentals.
300. Looks like he's got pocket kings there. Takes it down without
you gonna take your blind
any action. And Yosh is a pretty big winner here tonight as well. And again, we usually try to get chip counts out there, but the chips have just been flying around so fast. It's been a little bit difficult tonight, you know.
You can look at the game at pokerblue.com.
Live at the bike. yours.
And look at that. The white chips are $100 chips. The pinks are 50s. Yellows are 5s. And look at that. Yoshi's got over, what, maybe 12, 13, 14,000 there. Looks like he's got those in more than stacks of actually, word is he's got 21,000.
Wow.
21,000. Look at this. This is a misdeal. Abo's not pleased because he's
No,
got ace
he's
jack
not.
suited. Apparently, the dealer misdealt the hand. And yeah, I mean, we've got over an hour left in the show. And, I mean, we've just seen incredible action all night long.
dealer, please pay attention. I barely had the
Look at this. Ed asked the dealer to please pay attention. Wow.
I apologize.
The buttons moved over here
And
to
then he
seat
apologized.
7.
Hey, pay attention. Sorry.
300.
I was going to raise it up here to 300. He's got King 8 suited. Looks like he's getting a little bit impatient now. And Barry's going to make the call with King Queen. He has Avo dominated. Oh, actually, excuse me. Barry's got Queen Jack. Barry checks. All spades here. 9-4 deuce. Neither player has spades. I was going to put a little bet out here at 400. And Barry is not going to get involved. So Barry is probably down about, what, 10,000 for the night,
I
right?
would imagine, yeah. Well, he's bought in for a total of 20. And
That's right, and he probably has about 10 in front of him. But, I mean, the amount of money that he has won on the show, he's
Right.
still way, way positive. Gotta be honest with you. I mean, he can't win every single night. Look at this. We
Girls
an
got game.
email here from Mike Howe. He says, when is Corporation Mike's mom, his name was Trisha,
Trish,
gonna sit in on the whale game? She was killing Mike in the heads-up matches. The girls got game. Well, we'll see. Soon enough. Limp here. And again, one of the action players is left, so this game might change a little bit of dynamic now. Limped around. 5-way action. $500 pot. Jack 7-3 here on the board. Yoshi's got top pair. And he's gonna bet. He's gonna bet 500.
Very tempting.
And Ed says it's very tempting. I don't know. He's got a gut shot to the 5 and he makes the call. Wow. And here we go. And Yoshi's got him with backdoor clubs comes. And here we go to the turn. Turns a deuce. And Ed still only has a
Yeah,
gut
he
shot.
still only has the 5 for out.
Yoshi bets here. He bets 1,200. And again, Ed is drawing here to 4 outs. I think Barry mucked one of the 5, so he's got 3 outs.
Oh, that was a fast hour. Huh? 15 minutes you called me, right?
And here we go. And
No.
Ed mucked. Yoshi takes it down.
You told
And the
me
river
at
would have been an
7:10.
inconsequential ace.
So you know that I've been kind of helping Barry out, Barry Woods out. And
Yeah.
normally when he does his post on 2+2, he signed Barry, not Greensteinwood. Well, he wrote on my card,
SB Steve is
Barry, no ace rag, Woods.
He gave you a Christmas card?
Yeah, Christmas card, same thing. Thanks.
Man, where's
But I
mine?
like that, no ace rag.
You got more than a Christmas card. I mean,
I
that's
did,
give
I
the guy
did.
credit.
Yeah, he was nice to me. I got a nice big basket.
Wow. Nothing like being a girl in this life, huh? Ed is going to raise it up here to 300. He's got pocket jacks. And look at this. Avo's going to play with him. Looks like jack 8. And Yoshi's got a queen 8 suited. So here we go to the flop. $900 pot. 10-10-8. Let's see if Avo gets involved here. Avo's going to come out and bet here right on the 8.
600.
And Ed just calls.
Huh.
Wow. And it's kind of unorthodox. So here we go. $2,100 going to the turn. Turns a 6. Let's see what Avo does. He's going to come out and bet again. Little small bet. Bets 900. Pot's now 3,900 to call. I got to think, if Ed raises here, you've got to think that your hand's no good.
No, Ed's
just calls
breathing
again.
hard. Yeah, he's thinking Avo might have a 10.
3,900. Here we go to the river. River's a 5. If Avo checks, Ed, put a value bet in, buddy. Avo checks. Ed's really got to put a value bet in here.
Nope.
Oh, no. No, Jacks are going to take it down.
Yep. Avo just can't get Ed tonight.
No, you just can't do it.
I was shitting bricks, man. There for a minute.
We all heard that.
Of course, we are here live, and we stream these live cash games. Tournaments are for suckers.
Oh, stop.
Live
Don't
cash
get me
games,
started.
6 to 9, Monday through Friday. I want to welcome everyone that's joining live the bike for the first time. Check it out. I mean, this is the biggest game that we do. But, you know, we do other games, restricted buy-in games, unrestricted buy-in games. Check out Friday. It's our 10-20 unrestricted buy-in game. Seat 7's going to limp in here. And Barry here, he's going to raise with ace rag. He makes it 350 to go.
Uh-oh. After I just got done saying that.
And Ed mucks jack deuce. And look at this, we got Simon coming in the game in seat 8. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, Barry almost mucked his hand again here. I mean, Ken's in the hand. Ken's going to call.
Who's Simon?
Simon is another big-time action player. Well, the flop comes 10-9-8. And Ken has got middle pair with an open-ended straight draw. And it goes check, and there Ken's got the straight. It's a heart here on the turn. And Ken's going to bet 300, and Barry does not get involved. Well, that time Barry didn't make the raise. He thought maybe he could get
The
Ken out of the
follow-through,
hand.
yeah.
Or didn't make the continuation bet. So this is I mean, we're replacing action player, Jay leaving, with action player Simon coming in here in seat 8.
Is he a normal player on the 1,000 game?
Well, he plays all kinds of games. I play the 30 with him. I play the, you know, we've seen him in the 1,000. We've seen him in this game one time. He's usually good for 1 or 2 buy-ins. But he is a huge action guy.
I don't remember. Maybe last week when Dave was here?
Possibly.
Or is my memory just going?
Cheap angle shooting way.
Yeah, we're hearing some heavy bantering going on between Barry and Ed. I think Barry still thinks that Ed angle shot him on that hand. I just can't believe
Oh, he's
that.
still, he's still mad about that.
I just, it's Ed. Come on. We had a raise here by Simon with King Jack, and we're going to see four-way action here. $1,200 pot. Here we go to the flop. Queen 10-8, all clubs. Ken Kukuru-Berg's got top pair here. Simon's got an open-ended straight draw.
Not one player has a club.
$1,200 pot, and Simon's going to bet.
800.
He bets 800. Yosh gets out. Hey, look at that. I think that Ken, well, let's see here. Everybody folded here. Well, Ken's not going to get involved. And Simon takes it down.
You
right
can't
off the
fault
bat.
him for that. Top pair, weak kicker.
Yeah,
Three
all
clubs
three
out there.
clubs.
You don't have
Oh,
one.
there she is. Sheila.
Button's going to move over there to Ed in seat 3.
Barry, get yourself ready. Take a picture of your chips. All gonna come over
Most
here.
of my chips already disappeared.
Listen to
Ooh,
this.
how do you
Listen
like
to
that? Yeah, Ed said take a picture of your chips because they're all going to come over here.
And Barry said, most of my chips have already disappeared.
All right, here we go. Another chip count.
Yep, Yosh is leading the table there with over $20,000. And Vic is up big now, too. He's got $14,500.
And Avo, although he has $10,000, I think that's
Yeah, he's
just
down.
what he's bought. Yeah, he's losing.
And Barry's down, obviously. He's
And
down
there-
about
yeah,
10
he's
grand.
down.
And Ed's down only maybe 10 grand.
Oh, that's all.
Sean's come into the game. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people up here from the table.
First hand, she comes in. Big hand.
So we're playing a little short here.
They all take a break at the same time.
You had the big hand with
Limp, limp, limp. 8-6-3 here, a couple clubs.
I don't know what to do about it.
And it's going to get checked around here. And Ed checks. Turns a 4. And it looks like Ace Deuce is good right now. The two people with Ace Deuce.
Six good.
Does anybody want this pot?
Still got shit. Oh, now I got
Gets checked around again. And the river's a 5. So Ken and Simon both have made wheels.
Well, they've actually made a 6-eye straight.
Yeah, that's right. It's a one, a deuce to
Yeah,
6
you
straight.
can't be loving your hand too much. Someone just needs
Ken
a 7.
bets, and Simon bet. Simon just calls, and they're going to chop it up.
Okay, Ken, you do that tip right here too. There you go.
Now Button's going to move over here to seat 7. And Yosh is coming back to the game here. Yosh is under the gun. The action is on him. Yeah, Shirley, I want to say my voice tonight. This is crazy stuff. And this one's going to get chopped around in the blinds here. So the Button moves over here to seat 8. Well, a couple of the players here have bounced off the table, so we're going to tell you and show you who this night is brought to you from, Shirley. Take it away, girl.
Play just 4 hours on PokerBlue.com and qualify for our weekly free roll to win your choice of a seat at the World Poker Tour, the World Series of Poker, or, if you dare, a seat at Poker Blue's high-stakes whale game here on Live at the Bike. Get in on the action now because these free rolls are so small that they redefine the term overlay. To qualify, open an account on PokerBlue.com with $100. Then play 4 hours at $1 and $2 limit or any no-limit game. You can even start playing right now while watching Live at the Bike. Just click the PokerBlue.com banner on the right of your screen or log on to PokerBlue.com, bonus code BIKE. And don't forget, every week you play 4 hours gives you another chance to win.
Wow. There it is. So check it out, PokerBlue.com.
Now we're back.
So, I mean, and again, you only get about 150 people in those free rolls, so.
And Bart plays.
It's a great deal.
You
Yes,
can,
I
you
do.
can try to knock Bart out.
Live at the Bike Bart is my screen name.
I don't know why.
Check it out.
What you're doing, you're
Buttons
very
over there. In seat 9, Barry Woods. Looks like Yoshi's got ace king or ace queen here, and Simon's going to raise it up here with king
Yes,
queen
ace
suited.
king.
Makes it 400 to go. So let's see what Yosh does here out of the small blind. He just calls. A more aggressive player might re-raise there. And Ken Kukuru-Berg's going to call with pocket threes. Here we go to the flop. Ace jack 6. Yosh has hit top pair.
Okay. Hey, Mike, if you don't play, I don't.
And Simon's going to make a continuation bet here. He bets 800. He got checked to him.
Good. You ready to take some of my money?
So let's see how Yosh plays it.
I'll gamble it. I'll
Right.
gamble it.
And Yosh is going to check raise.
2,000 more?
Wow, 2,000 more, Shirley. And Simon's just got a gut shot to the 10. He's got backdoor clubs, but I couldn't
I don't
imagine he's
think
going to
he'll
call, right? Let's see here.
It was a hobbit sitting.
There you go. Hey, good. How you doing,
Pick Park is back to the table. Well, Simon's still thinking about it.
man? It's a little low now.
And it looks like he's going to muck it.
You gotta stand up. How tall are you, Mark? 6'3".
And there it is. And it looks like we got a new player coming into the game.
You got it even, you made it even lower now.
It is Mark.
Look, his name is Mark in seat
Yeah,
5.
and he's a big, tall guy. And he's just sat down. And there he is. And there's a great shot of him right there.
Yeah, there you go. Nice one.
Great shot of him right there. It's always nice to see that.
I guess he's just telling all of us to kiss his ass right before we even start in on him.
Always nice to see. Buttons moved over there to Yosh in seat 1.
Betty, eine Achtung.
Yeah, I got that.
Betty, eine Achtung.
And it gets folded around because Yosh is away from the table here. And they're going to chop it up. I don't, Shirley, I mean, obviously, the action, it's a little bit kind of slowed down here, but look at that hand right there. If you were Avo, why would you chop with Ed? Does it make any sense?
That's true. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it doesn't
Avo
make-
just chopped in the small blind with Ed.
It
Granted,
doesn't make
Avo's
sense
out
to
of
chop in
position.
this anyways.
It's a collection pot
It's a
game.
right.
I mean, some of the things here.
You
I mean,
aren't saving on the drop. There's actually money to be made.
I
You
mean-
practice your heads-up play.
yeah, you're playing with Ed. I mean, some of
Yeah.
the things here it just surprised me. Even in the hands that aren't even big hands, you know.
I do agree with the philosophy that, if you chop, you chop. So.
Well,
what
I chop
happens-
in limit, but I don't chop in no limit. How about that? You don't agree with that?
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, you can't chop with one player and not the other player. I mean, you can, but that wouldn't be the right to do.
That's bush league.
So, I'll always chop unless it's 5-handed or less.
Now, Yoshi's, we got 5-way action. It's a $500 pot. It was limped around. Flop comes ace, king, 9. C4 has got 10, king, queen, and he's come out and bet here. 300, Mike Wu, and he's going to take it down. No one had an ace.
No. Another bottle.
Mike Wu, I mean, he's pretty solid. You don't really necessarily want to get involved with him.
Mm-hmm. But,
So-
being props here, don't you think we should chop?
Yes, I do chop in the limit games.
Right.
I got to be honest with you. If I was on my own, I wouldn't chop.
I don't know if I
care.
would neither, but because we're here, and we're playing the lower limit games, which actually the drops are more.
Well, you
Well,
are, but
yeah,
I'm playing
I
the
am.
30 game.
Yeah, but your drop is the same as ours.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Now
So
it's
it
4
actually,
and 1.
it's not that
Before
much.
it used to be 3 and 1.
Yeah. Look at this. The new player at the table,
that's-
Mark, in seat 5's got pocket kings. Let's see if he's going to raise out of the big blind. And he's going to raise. He's going to make it 500 more. Does Ken Berg want to get involved here with ace-jack offsuit? Well, he's going to make the call. Simon's out of there. Well, Ed's got 7-4 offsuit. He's on the button. And he makes the call. And this is going to be a quick reality check here for Mark. See what Ed's going to play here. Queen, queen, jack. Well, Ken gets involved here. And Mark checks.
And Mark has to be a little concerned.
And
with
Ken
that flop.
checks. And look at this. Ed's going to bet. He bets 800. Mark calls. And now what does Ken do? Ken is not going to overcall. And I mean, Ed is drawing to running cards here. Turn is a 3, and Ed does not have a higher club. Mark does. And the river's a king, and Mark makes kings full of queens. And look at this. Mark checks to induce a bluff, and Ed bluffs. And you got to imagine that Mark is probably going to check raise all in here, right?
I would think so.
Hope that Ed has a queen. Check to induce a bluff, and he's going to raise.
Little does he know, Ed doesn't have
1,500
anything.
more. What a river card.
Ed has a 7.
And I guess Ed is doing a little Hollywood job here. Wow. And I would assume that Ed's going to get away from it, and he does.
Yeah. Even Ed can't call that.
What a river card, Shirley. Absolutely incredible.
Where's 10, did I? What's that? Where's 10?
And Simon thinks he's had ace-10. Well, he had better than that, Simon.
No, did he say that? I thought he said first hand.
Oh, I thought he said you have ace-10.
Oh.
I guess you can interpret that no matter what
He
you say.
said one of those two things.
Limp, limp. Four-way action here. $400 pot. Limped around. King 8-8 here on the flop. And Yoshi's going to bet 200. With ace high. He's going to take it down there.
Yeah.
Ed did not chase with the ace 4. Well, sometimes we say that if the board comes paired, it's missed
Did
everyone.
Ed even play that hand? I didn't see him even play the hand.
I
Let's see,
think he
5
limped
played.
in.
Okay.
Ace 4 offsuit.
Alrighty.
The button moves over here.
What did you say? The button moves over here?
Button's going to move over here to seat 5. That's Mark, who got the guy who made the king's ball on the river a couple
Right.
hands ago.
He had the best hand the whole way.
Oh, absolutely. Limp, limp, limp.
Havo put his hood up.
Yeah, like the Unabomber.
Uh-huh.
And boy, I mean, when the pot's limped around, it's a big pot. Big completes out of the small blind. 6-way action, $600 pot. And the flop comes King, Jack, Deuce. So Mark's got top pair on the button. Now, Ken Berg, he's got a weak top pair. Sometimes he usually likes to check from up front, but this time he's going to bet. He's going to bet 500. See how Mark is going to play this hand, Shirley. He is in position. Avo's open-ended. And the thing is, if Avo calls here, can you overcall with King 9? Could Avo, by calling here, protect Ken Berg's hand here in seat 7?
I don't think Avo will make a call here.
Well, let's see. Oh, he's going to make the call.
Well, what do I know?
And let's see what Mark does now. Can he make the overcall with King 9? And that's what happened. Avo's call protected Ken Berg's hand. And here we go to the turn. Turns a jack. Ken still has the best hand. And Ken's not going to give Avo a card. He's going to bet again. And look at that. Avo folds. And Mark in seat 5 had the best hand. And again, the overcall, I mean, you're going to play King 9 suited from the button. You're not necessarily looking just to hit a king. King Jack 4 with a couple clubs isn't, you know, necessarily a monster flop for you in a limped pot 6 ways, right?
Right.
Button moves over there to Vic Park.
Huh? No, we're full.
Shirley, I got to tell you, you know,
want to see?
we did,
Who, Peter?
we finished off another
Our second
chunk
year.
of episodes
Right.
on the LA poker scene. If anyone in England is a fan of the show, check it out. Poker Channel. I think it's Sky Satellite 265.
On the board is what I'm asking you.
And we are on, oh man, almost every day.
Huh?
Are we on a
it's
couple
like
times a day?
2 people now.
Oh, many times.
Yeah.
Many. We got a raise here by Avo, Queen 10 of diamonds. Yosh limped in with Ace 7 of diamonds. He's going to call. $800 pot. And Avo's having a rough night. Well, Ace King 9, a couple clubs. Let's see
I know.
and Yoshi's going to fire right into it. He bets 500. And oftentimes you can make this play with nothing, right? Surely ace high flop, all clubs. Very difficult for Avo to call, even with
Right.
an ace with no club in his hand. Folds.
Now, Avo's lost, I think, probably about 12,000 now.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, that's a lot less than he should have.
Yeah,
And
there
he
was a
should be
few
feeling
hands.
a little bit okay about it. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about losing 12,000, but it could have been a lot more.
Well, there it is, PokerBlue.com. Live the rush again. They sponsor Wednesday's game, the Whale Night. Check it out, PokerBlue.com. Big fat weekly free roll. You win that tournament, you get an entry into the World Series of Poker main event or your choice of WPT main events. Just play 4 hours on any 1-2 limit game or higher. Check it out, PokerBlue.com.
That helps.
We got a raise here by Mike Wu.
Put him there, live on the
Raised it
mic.
to 800.
Real ball
Ace
over
king.
there.
And the pot was straddled by Yosh, and Ed's going to make the limp call with a suited ace rag, and he's dominated. Jack 8-4 here. Ed checks, and Mike is going to bet. He bets 800. The funny thing here is that last time when Ed called, Mike checked behind Ed on the turn. Let's see what happens if a blank comes here. The turn's a queen. It gives Ed the flush draw, and let's see how this one goes. Ed checks, and Mike checks right behind him. But the river's a king, and Mike picks up a pair. But Ed's going to bet in as a bluff. He bets 600 here. And Mike is going to make a little
easy
value
call.
raise.
Oh, no, he
He's gonna
raised.
raise. But Ed doesn't have anything.
No.
But my question was, if the river was a blank, because remember, Mike played this hand identically a couple hours ago against Ed. If the river, say it's an offsuit deuce, and look at this, Ed makes the call with ace-6. Holy smokes. Mike's got ace-king. Ed made that call with ace-high. I didn't even do the pot odds. I figured it was an easy fold for Ed. Wow. But what I was going to say was, if that river comes offsuit blank, and Ed fires into the turn, what does Mike do? He's induced the bluff. Does he make the call with ace-king high?
Right. I don't think he would.
I mean, that's incredible that Ed called with ace-high there at the end. Jeez. Well, we've got about 40 minutes left in the show. I don't know if my voice can take it anymore. And we got a straddle here by Avo. And Avo's got pocket tens in the straddle spot. And with all this dead money...
Is he seat 3?
Yeah.
I thought he was
Oh, excuse
2.
me. He is 2. I'm sorry. We can't see his cards. But look
Oh,
at this.
okay.
Yosh
Ed
is gonna,
has the 10s.
Yosh is going to raise with ace-queen. But Ed limped in with pocket tens. Is he going to pull the limp re-raise? Yosh raised.
14 more?
And Ed is going to call.
It sounds like just call.
The 1,400 more, but he doesn't have that much left. So Yosh raises out of the blind. And the pot is quickly over $3,000. Ed only has $2,000 more. I can't believe he didn't just push all in there, Shirley. King 5-3 with a couple diamonds. And Yosh is going to bet. He bets 2,000, and can Ed make this call? And apparently
Yes,
he
he
is
does.
with one
Well, he makes
overcard.
call with ace high. He can call with 10s.
And I think he's all in here. He's got 1,600. So again, we've got over a $5,000 pot here. The turn's a jack. It gives Yosh more outs. But Ed
Ed's
dodges
hand
it.
is the best hand.
And
I
Ed,
thought Yosh had the rule that you had to show your cards when you're heads up.
well, it is a cash game.
Well, I know that, but I thought that was one of his rules.
Well, look at the outs that Yosh picked up on the turn. He could have caught an ace, a queen, a king, a 10, or a diamond.
Or a diamond.
Nice call, Aaron.
And Ken Burke says, nice call, Ed.
Goddamn $500
Live straddle.
I'm just surprised that Ed didn't push all in there pre-flop, right? And we got another live straddle, this time by Ed. And what does Ed have over there in the straddle spot? 8-4 offsuit.
Raise. 6 is a bet.
And we've got a $600 raise here by seat 7. That's Ken Burke, right? Ace Queen? Simon's got king, queen offsuit. He's going to fold. But, kind of a kinder, gentler Simon.
Wow.
Yosh folds the jack 10 of diamonds. Well, probably playing the player there. And Ed's going to make the call with 8-4 offsuit. Heads up. Here we go. About a $1,400 pot. Well, deuce 7-10. I don't even know if Ed can call here. Ken makes a continuation bet, and Ed folds. You got to believe, though, if Ed had any part of that hand, he probably would have.
Would have stayed in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other part of the thing that we have to tell the viewers was that we had to be there at the bright and early hour of 9 a.m.
Right, and I'm still half dead from just waking up this morning.
Which for you is a long way. Actually, the voiceover suite's
this has
right
been
down
a very
the street from my house.
long, very long day for me. I had to wake up at 7 and go over there.
So, how are you feeling? Peppy
I'm
right now?
Exhausted.
Well, you do have 2 young daughters. I mean,
right.
I mean, doesn't that kind of
no? I don't wake up.
warm
with
you
them.
up to
I
being
don't wake
exhausted?
up with them in the morning. I got them trained. They wake up, get themselves breakfast. We pick out their clothes the night before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they walk to the neighbors, which is our cousin. They give them a ride to school. I pick them all up. So I got it good.
We got a raise here by Mike with ace-jack, and Ken calls with ace-8, and Ed's in there with 8-3 offsuit. But the flop misses everyone, and it gets checked around. Earns a queen. Now Mike has an open-ended straight draw, and he's going to bet 300. And look at this. Ken's going to make a move. He's going to raise it here.
Go Ken.
He makes it 700 more.
7 more.
And Ken usually doesn't make moves like this. Mike checked the flop, he bet the turn, and Ken raised 700 more. Now Mike has a draw. He's open-ended with his jack. But I don't think he's going to call. No, he folds. There it is. Nice play there by Ken Berg. And he shows the bluff. He's going to show the bluff. Ace-8 there. Well, there you go. But moves over there to C2. We really only see that once a show there by Ken Berg. If, maybe once every couple shows. But I mean, it's a well-executed bluff against a guy who plays tight and is willing to throw down a hand. Obviously, Ken's not going to make that move against Ed, right?
No. But against Mike and against Yosh.
Yep.
Those are the perfect people to go against. Make that move.
Limp here. Got an interesting email here by Wyatt Godin, and we'll get to it at the end of this game. We have raise here by Avo, 7-8 offsuit. 350 to go, and he's going to get called by Barry with Jack 6 and Yosh with 7-8. Yosh has got the same hand as Avo. And look at this. Yosh is going to bet right in here with second pair. Wow, and Avo calls. And maybe Avo can use his position here, because Yosh might check down here on the turn. Turns a 6. And Yosh checks.
Go, Avo.
Well, let's see if he can fire here, and he is going to bet. And probably Yosh is going to be done with it here. I got to tell you, power of position. It's a $1,200 bet here. Yeah, there it is. Well, we have an email here again by Wyatt Godin. Said, love the show. Hi, Shirley and Bart. Love the show and watch it mostly every night. My question is, how many of these players are regular players that play in this whale games, and how many are poker pros?
Right.
Well, I can tell.
Let's go around the table. We have Yosh, seat 1.
He's a
professional. Seat 2,
It's
pro.
Avo. He's a pro.
Uh-huh.
Ed is probably a whale in seat 3.
Right, recreational player, has a lot of money. Mike Wu, professional, that's seat 4.
Yep.
Seat 5, we're not familiar with. His name is Mark.
Yep.
I'm not. Vic Park, professional, seat 6.
Yep.
Ken Berg, whale.
Whale.
And
that's Simon in seat 8. Whale.
Right. And Barry, Barry's kind of borderline.
Barry's a cross between a whale and a... And again,
he's made his money elsewhere, but he really
Right.
does take poker seriously, and he does play the game pretty well. And
Yeah, he's a whale shark. We'll call him
Yeah,
a whale
there you
shark.
go.
Paul was limped around here 5 ways. And we're going to see a bet here by Mike Wu with second pair coming out right away. Now, Mark in seat 5, I think he was in the blind. He just got rid of queen 4 right away here. Didn't want to get involved. But look at this. Ed calls with king 6 offsuit. Is he going to make a move on Mike Wu? The turn's a 3. Mike bets again, 500. And Ed
No,
calls.
Ed, you can't just call.
Wow. And the river's a 3. And it's a club. Can Ed use it as a scare card? But Mike's going to put in a bet here. He bets
If he
600.
moves all in, but I don't think he will.
And he gets away from it. And Mike is going to take it down there. So there you go. And Wyatt says that he is from Prince Edward Island, Canada. I've been there once. I want to say St. John's.
I've never been to Canada.
What kind of person knows the capital of PEI off the top of their head? It's scary. I know. You been to Halifax? You been to Nova Scotia before?
No.
No? Well, I'm from, the Northeast and hung out in Maine a lot, so it's not too far away.
Mm-hmm. I went to
I
New
want to
York
say
for my
St.
first
John's
time.
or Frederickson. I can't remember. I think Frederickson might be that Newfoundland over there on the east. We got a raise here, 400 by Ed. Queen 9 suited. Now look at the people who want to play with Ed.
They all want to play with Ed.
$1,200 pot, 4 ways. Ace King 4 with a couple of clubs. Ken checks. Simon checks. Barry checks. Let's see if Ed's going to bet. No, he's going to check it there. I mean, that is a pretty premium, hand to bluff at, right? With Ace King on board? Well, an ace comes out on the turn.
And it's another club. Does anyone have it in him to go for it?
Well, look at
Barry.
See, Barry's going to bluff at it now. He's going to bet 800. Ed mucks, and now, no, Ken's not going to call. He doesn't like to call pairs without those, without the flush draws there. And, Barry, you talk about those hands that no one wants. Barry took it down there.
Yes, he did.
Way to go, Barry.
I had the hand. Wasn't the nuts, but
Well, it definitely wasn't the nuts. Got about a half an hour left in the show. The button moves over there to Mark in seat 5. And again, we don't know. I thought he was a pro poker player, but he might be a whale. I don't know.
Who's that? Oh, Mike. Is that what you said? Seat 5?
Mark in seat
Mark.
5.
Mark.
Yeah.
I should know that.
We got a raise here by, I believe, by
Ed.
Simon under the gun, actually.
Oh,
with
there you
ace
go.
10.
Yeah.
And Ed calls,
Ed calls.
ace deuce off suit.
3 players.
And look at this, Vic
Good
Park
eye.
is in there with king queen.
And Vic Park has the best hand.
Yep, king
Lots
10
of
9.
king.
And he checks it from up front. And Simon's going to bet with second pair. Ed folds, and let's see how Vic is going to play this. He check calls.
Huh.
Turns a 4. Check, check here. And the river's an 8. And Vic is going to bet here just a tiny bit. Boy, 600, and that's going to be a little value bet, and Simon's going to call. Vic's going to take down over a $3,000 pot. And there you go. Vic takes it down as he sucks on that lollipop. Were you a sucker in your earlier time? Lollipops? I know all these girls I remember in middle school and high school used to suck on these
No.
blow pops and lollipops. No?
No.
Didn't have that that thing going on. Button moves over here to Vic Park in seat number 6. Barry's going to bring it in here for $350. Under the gun, he's got pocket 8s in seat 9. Vic is not going to play. Yeah, Vic Park has played it pretty much straight up the whole night. Again, normally he's good for about one move. It's usually the 855 bluff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Barry takes it down there without a flop. And let's take it another look at a chip count. Yosh has got 20,000, and right now Vic is the big winner, up 6,000 here with $12,000. Now, of course, Jay left, and he was the biggest winner.
Yes,
but
he
he's
was.
gone.
Right.
And I think actually Vic's got more. I think Vic has about.
Oh, he just won that last hand.
Yeah, I think he's got about almost.
Nice.
Wow,
He's
almost
got some
20,000 now.
change, yeah.
So, wow, he's got a $5,000 chip there, and
Mark
a lot
hasn't
of,
been in the game long. He's
yeah.
won a few thousand.
So Vic is definitely the big winner so far. Now the pot here, I believe, was
5 players.
straddled and limped around. 5-way action, so it's a $1,000 pot. Queen 6-4, all hearts.
7.
And Abo's going to bet 700 here with the top pair with the queen. Again, the board is Queen 6-4, all hearts. Vic's got 4-5. He's going to get away from it. Now, Barry's got pocket 7s with the 7 of hearts. He has the only heart. But does he want to chase here with the 7 of hearts,
With only a
Shirley?
7 of hearts? I don't think so.
I mean, if the heart comes, he doesn't even know if he's good, right? Against a player like Avo.
Yeah. No, you can pick a better spot, but
And he's going to make the call. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get paid off if he doesn't have a heart. You don't even know if your hand's good. The turn's a king. Can possibly Barry represent a king-high flush draw here? He checks. Now let's see what Avo does. He's taking off the hood. He's going to check right behind him. And the river's a heart, but Barry doesn't know where he's at.
no, he's going to stick out a bet.
Wow.
And he's going to hopefully stick out a strong enough bet that he's not going to have to show these pocket 7s.
He bets 1,000. I can't imagine Avo's can't call there. But I got to get on Barry here for the flop call, Shirley, and I think you do too.
Yeah.
Especially against this player. Oh, he's bet 1,000. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe Avo will pay him off here. I just can't imagine. I mean, what does Avo really think he has? Or can Avo make a move here? I mean, Barry can't take a lot of heat here, right?
No, he
Avo's
can't.
represented a flush, hasn't he?
And
he
Avo's
checked the
sitting there
turn.
counting chips like he's going to do something.
I mean, Avo checked the turn, took a card. It's a $1,000 bet here by Barry. And Avo's trying to look for a reaction here. He's counting out his chips. I don't know if we can get a look there at Barry Woods. He's the one that's...
He
And look
put
at
all
this,
in.
Avo moves all in. Avo moves all in here, and he's played it exactly like a flush. We've seen Barry make calls like this before, but, you know, it would just be absolutely amazing. He's only got the 7 of hearts in his hand.
Wow, that's a great move on Avo's part.
He's
or
moved
great
all in
read.
for
Yeah.
6,000. The pot is about, I want to say 10,000, 6,000 to call. And actually, it's more than that. I think it's more like 11 or 12,000, 6,000 to call. And Barry's asked for time here, and this would be one of the calls of the centuries, but Avo's played it like he had a flush.
Got a big flush?
And Barry asked him, do you have a big flush? I mean, this is crazy.
Nothing about Armenians is small, Barry.
The pot is about 11,000 here.
Remember that.
6,000. Again, we can get confirmation on that. About 6,000 for Barry to call. And Avo took a card on the turn. He bet the flop. Checked behind Barry on the turn. And Barry led in with the 7-high flush on the river. And it's against Avo, Shirley.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen Avo make a move like this in months.
No.
In months he hasn't made a move like this.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I-
One. Oh, my! He made the call! Oh, my! With the 7 of hearts!
Wow.
Oh, wow! Jeez! Oh! Against Avo! Well, don't bluff Barry Woods. I mean, hey, I gotta tell you, when we started this show, everything is subjective. I mean, poker is very subjective. People can say, well, it's the right call. It's the
Yeah,
wrong
nothing's
call.
ever correct. I mean, there's always
I don't know.
you
I
know, a
just
couple
don't see
sides
how you
in,
make that call.
in arguments.
My God. With the 7 of hearts against Avo?
I don't mind a call on the flop, to tell you the truth. If he has intention of taking that pot away on the turn, not trying to hit his hand, which is basically kind of what we saw him do. I mean, we saw him wait to hit his hand, he hits his hand, he gets in this horrible situation, and he did make a great read on it. But if you have an intention to call to take the pot away, that's one thing. But if you're trying to hit another heart to where your 7 of hearts is going to be
I guess Avo just figured, I'm going to put pressure on this guy with the king. I mean, if he's got the king, I'm going to put pressure. But he called with the 7. And that's like the biggest pot of the night there. I mean, I have to disagree with you, Shirley. I think it's a bad call on the flop. But obviously, we commonly
right.
disagree.
Well, you don't think. I think it was a bad call in this case because Barry wasn't trying to take the pot away from Avo. He was actually trying to hit the flush. But you've seen people make calls on the flop trying to represent something when a turn came. That's okay.
Well, I mean, possibly.
Well, you have to bluff once in a while.
Okay, this is only 400, so this one doesn't qualify, right? Because it's 400 each.
And look at this. Ed is going to
It's got to be 600.
It's got to be 600.
make a bet here. He made a straight.
Oh, is it total? Okay. All right, then it's 150.
And he made the big end of the straight, but no one's going to pay him off.
I know. I should have.
Actually,
Hey, that's one for the history books again.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's one for the Live at the Bike highlight reels.
I got a break.
I'm dumbfounded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
okay.
I'm gonna let my voice take a rest.
Well, yeah, you've done a lot of screaming tonight.
I have. I just.
And people think that their speakers are getting blown out. Imagine my ears. I'm sitting right next to you.
I mean, maybe you say, well, why make a move on Barry if he is the type of player that's going to call with the 7 of hearts?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to think that Avo watches the show. So maybe it's a bad bluff on Avo's part. If
I thought it was
making,
a great move.
Yeah, but if you're making the play against the guy who's capable with calling with a low heart, then how is it a good move? Right? I mean, I thought it was a brilliant move, but it just, I mean, now we're second guessing it. It's just, it's insanity.
Well, Barry's game has really gotten a lot better, and I'm actually very surprised he made that call. I know probably the old Barry would make that call in an instant. At least he's thinking about it now.
well, Mark pocket 10s. And he just checked the flop. I think he raised pre-flop, and pocket 10s are good here. And now he's going to bet, figuring that, making a little value bet here. And look at this. Ken Berg makes a call. So Mark made a value bet there with pocket 10s, a nice bet.
Can't be nervous here, Kenny.
There you go. I mean, he figured no one else bet. I'm going to bet here.
You're exceeding your bluff rate here.
And Ken called there with the ace high. And I can't wait to see the emails start to come in here
Yeah,
about
we
that.
have to wait 5 minutes for those.
I mean, it's flabbergastic. Again, and I don't say, I mean, it's an interesting question, Shirley. Can you say something is the right or the wrong call, the way the hand played out, if it actually was the right call and Barry had him beat? But
Right.
I mean, Barry Woods is just beyond amazement to me. Amazement, what?
Oh, pocket kings here. Hold on.
Yeah, Vic is raised here with pocket kings at 400. And Abo's called here with, looks like pocket 9s.
Yeah, it's hard to pitch a glare on that. I don't think it is 9s. 9-10.
No, 9-10, okay. So we've got four-way action.
Our buddy there with queen 4 of hearts.
$1,600 pot. Look at this. Ed's got a flush draw. And Vic checks the kings. And Avo's going to bet here with middle pair. He bets 800. Ed calls. And you got to imagine that probably Vic might check raise here,
We'll put
right?
a raise in here.
We got a bet here by Avo. Ed is called in between. And let's see how Vic plays the kings. And it looks like he's grabbing some raisin chips there. Let's see what he's going to do. The pot is 2,400. And actually, no, excuse me, the pot is... And look at this. And Vic is going to raise. Pot was 3,200 before that raise. And Vic is going to raise it up to 2,000 more. Wow, 2,000 more.
I'm all in.
And Ed's going to move all in. I mean, the pot was 6,000.
Feeling lucky.
And Ed's going to move all in for the remaining 3,000. And we've got a $12,000 pot.
Right away.
There's the flush for Ed. And the
Vic
river's a
was
10.
drawn dead after that.
And Ed is going to take down about a $12,000 pot right there. Vic check raised it up to 2,000 on the flop. Ed moved in for the remaining 2,500 he had. And that's about a $12,000 pot that Ed Shanazarian just took down. Unbelievable.
Redraw it.
And they're asking, you know, did
Did you ever? He said, nope, no redraw.
he had a
Black king.
redraw? He did not. And Ed takes a hit there to the tune of about 6,000 or 7,000.
Ed,
He lost.
Vic.
Excuse me, Vic took a hit.
Yeah.
6,000 or
He
7,000.
was our big winner.
I think he still might be up.
Yeah, I'm sure he is up.
Yep.
Farther the way that I. Da, 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 da.
Buttons moved over here to, I think it's Ed in seat 3.
Yes, sir. 450.
We got a raise here by Avo, and you got to wonder if he might be tilting now. But I think he's got pocket 9s. And Yosh has called him with Queen 8 of clubs, $900 plus the blinds, King 10-7. Yosh checks, and Avo's going to bet.
We're sitting here waiting 5 minutes. They don't even know what to say. They say, I'm speechless.
It's a $700 bet here by Avo. Again, I think
In reference to Barry's hand.
I got to tell you, you look at it two ways.
Right.
I thought that the hand played out great for Avo, the way he played it. He really represented a flush. But do you want to get involved with a player that's willing to make the call with a 7 of hearts there and make a bluff at him like that? Because I got to tell you, there aren't many players that are going to make that call when they bet into the river with the 7 of hearts.
No.
I mean, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm with them. I don't know what to say about it.
Check, limped around. 4-way action, ace, king, 9, all hearts. Gets checked around, the turn is a heart, and Mark has the only heart, and it's pretty weak.
Oh, yeah, well.
Or actually,
his
Vic
four
has a
beats-
deuce.
Yeah, Vic's deuce.
Checked around again, and the river is a heart. And they're going to
And now they
chop
play
this
the
one up.
board.
Can anyone bet anybody off the pot here?
Well, the only hand
that would
have
win
to
would
have
be
a jack
jack.
of hearts, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Have you ever seen a board like that? It's almost a royal flush on the board. Could somebody bet there and take that down?
It almost worked.
Wow. I've never seen a board like that. Almost a royal flush on the board there, almost.
Kind of.
Button moves over there to seat 5. And there's David Tucker. Look at him stare down Barry Woods.
Barry's over there saying, you should see this call I made.
Yeah.
Pocket 7s.
You went on the flop? What do you have? Very 10.
Unbelievable.
I was winning on the flop. I was winning the whole way. What a donkey. I can't believe I stepped that.
Barry's over there. He's got queen deuce. Not this time. I got to tell you, Barry's made some amazing calls. I don't know if you can bluff somebody. Also, the other thing you got to remember is I think that Barry is wealthy from another source, obviously. Can you make bluffs on people that don't necessarily care about losing the money as well, right? You know? I mean, obviously, Barry's a competitive
poker,
guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that poker is necessarily about the money for Barry. It's about the game. It's about...
Yeah, but you got to
I
think...
think he wants to do what's right. He wants to learn, and I don't think he wants to make a call just because he has money. He wants to make a call because it's the right call.
Wow.
Because he thinks he has the best hand.
Oh, well
And
put.
I don't know what...
Well
yeah.
put.
Thank you. Wow, a compliment. I think I'm just going to...
Well, Yosh
I'll
has
just
got
store that in my book.
19,500. Barry's got 18,000 now, so he's almost back up to
He's
even.
almost even.
Vic's got 16,000. And I got to tell you,
And poor Avo.
I want to try to think off the top of my head, Shirley. And what did Yosh start with for the night here? Because he's up quite a bit as well, right?
Right. He
started with 15, so he's up about 4,000 or 5,000.
Right.
But I still think that Vic is probably one of the biggest winners, or is the big winner right now. He's up over 10,000 since the show
On the
started.
show, yeah.
So, there you go.
Well, Barry's definitely got the best comeback.
Wow, I mean,
Got that locked up.
don't bluff Barry Woods. And I got to tell you, value bet Barry Woods. Don't bluff him. And that is some amazing stuff there. We got a live straddle here by Avo. So that's a $200 blind there.
So he sat down, picked it up off the box.
Light shadows. Light shadows.
And
Light shadows.
we got a raise here by Ken Berg. He's got pocket jacks. And he's going to make it 900 to go. And he's going to take it down. And Wyatt Godden actually corrected me, Shirley. He said that Charlottetown is the capital of Prince Edward Island. Fredericton is the capital of New Brunswick. And St. John's is the capital of Newfoundland. So, sorry about that.
Like Ed said, you know what I'm saying?
Button moves over there to Barry. On the button. Oh, and then we get an email here by Mike Brock. And he says that maybe, you know, by Avo overbetting pot there, it screams like he doesn't have a flush on the river. That maybe he would, you know, raise
That
half
if he
pot
had,
for
right,
value.
if he had, bet less.
But again, I mean, we see as players get more sophisticated, and especially against Barry Woods. Now, if I'm in that situation, I'll do that against Barry Woods with the Ace of Hearts to make it look like I'm trying to steal, you know? Jack 10-5 here was limped around. Actually, it's between the blinds. Yosh checks, and Abo bets with top pair. And Yosh is not going to get involved. And Abo takes it down. Okay, folks, and I got another couple emails. I'm sorry I was wrong about those northeast Canadian provincial capitals. Button moves over here to Yosh. And we got about 10 minutes left on the show. Limp.
Limped around. 3 players.
Queen 10-9, and Kenberg's got top 2 pair. And Avo's going to come out and bet with Queen 8. He bets 250, and let's see if Ken plays a trap game. He does. He makes the call. A lot of cards that are going to kill the action or get scary here on the turn. I mean, look at the board. Well, that's not one of them. It's a deuce. And let's see what Avo does here. And again, it's almost like you almost want to shut down against Ken, but the board's so coordinated, maybe Avo thinks that Ken's on a draw. And Avo has bet 500 now. And now Ken is going to raise. But again, Shirley, not to harp on it. Look at that board. I just, it's almost like I want to go out there and say, Ken.
Shake Ken.
Ken. My goodness. And I know Avo, you know, he doesn't call. I don't know if Avo would have called on the flop, but. And Avo's having not the best night there.
No, he's not. And
again,
he's played well.
And this is a combination of a lot of reactions here by some of the people watching the show that think that Barry made the a good call, but then thinks that Barry is an idiot for making the call, and then there's some people out there that think that Avo's an idiot for trying to bluff Barry.
Well, there's also that some people think that Avo made a great move. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And it should have worked 99% of the
Right,
time, which is
right.
probably true.
Three-way action here, limped around. 9-6 deuce here on the flop. And Barry's going to come out and bet here with pocket 4s, and he does have the best hand. But look at Mike.
Doesn't someone have a 9? I thought it was King
Oh,
9.
we don't have it up.
We don't have
correctly.
it down now.
Okay,
We have it
do.
up right.
Mike is
has
going to
King
raise.
9.
Going to raise it up. And I would think that Avo's like the same type of player that Mike Wu is, where like if you make the move on the river, I wouldn't think my 7 of hearts would be good, but hey, guess that's why we're in here and he's out there, right?
Yeah, something like that.
There's Mike Wu. And again, I interviewed Mike Wu a couple weeks ago when he was the big winner, and he said that the guy he respects most on the table, in terms of no limit, is Vic Clark. Now Barry's got pocket 8s here.
He's my favorite player on the table, but you know that.
Gonna make it 350 to go here out of seat 9 with pocket 8s. And Avo's gonna re-raise. Think this guy's mad at Barry? Let's see what Avo has. We can't see yet.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got 6-5 suited. Oh boy.
Well, I could think of worse hands.
And let's see what Barry's gonna do. So a raise by Barry, and Avo's re-raised with a suited connector. And I gotta tell you, if this board comes out 5 or 6, low rag cards, and it hits Avo's hand, here we go. Queen, deuce, queen. Oh, Barry might think his hand's good, but Avo's got a flush
Avo
draw.
does have a flush draw.
And it goes check, check. Avo takes a card. Turns a king. See what Barry does. Barry checks again. And now Avo's going to bet. He's going to bet 1,000. Oh, this time Barry's not going to get involved, even though he has the best hand.
Avo looks mad.
He did not show his cards, though.
No.
So there you go. I mean, just some unbelievable stuff here that happened tonight. One of the best nights we've ever had here on Live with the Bike. I think one of the most entertaining shows.
Definitely the most action.
Yeah. Well, we got an email here from Jeff Rodriguez. He says Barry Woods ought to be glossed Barry Legend, similar to Larry Legend, Larry Bird, in light of his calls on the river. Yoshi Nakano's going to raise it up here to 300. He's got King Jack offsuit, and Mike Wu's got Ace Queen suited. And look at this, he's going to re-raise. And I don't think that Yoshi's going to play with Mike Wu. He's not. And Wu takes it down there with the Ace Queen. I've seen a couple times that Mike Wu's been kind of aggressive pre-flop. And again, as the table gets tighter, sometimes these players tend to make more moves because you can't necessarily beat the game straight up as much, right?
We're getting pretty close to fixed time.
Yeah, right? For him to make his move at the end of the night. Well, he's on the button. Vic Park is, and Ed is back. Now, Avo's got Queen Jack suited. Gonna raise it up to 400. Ed posted dead here, so he's got 100 in there, plus 50. He's gonna make the call. Looks like 6 or 7 9 of diamonds. Mike calls with pocket 8s.
Yeah, 7 9 of diamonds.
And Vic is in there with 7 6 offsuit. Yoshi's got pocket 3s.
Vic has pocket 6s. Right?
Yes, you're right. Pocket 6s. It's a little bit difficult to see there. 5-way action.
Kind of a glare on that.
$2,000 pot. Here we go. Oh, man. Avo flops a flush, and Ed flops a smaller flush.
And it looks like Avo's finally going to get some money.
He's going to bet, and Ed's real deep. We got a $900 bet by Avo, and Ed raises to $2,000 immediately. And the pot now is about $5,000. And how does Avo play it? He's got the second nut flush. He's out of position. And let's see what Avo does.
He just called.
He's just going to make the call. And the turn's a jack. And he checks, and Ed bets. He's going to bet 1,800, 1,900 surely, not the pot size there.
Yeah, but it's still a pretty strong bet.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the pot
his
now
bets
is about,
when he doesn't have anything is usually like 600.
It's about $8,000, 1,900 for Avo to call. Let's see what Avo's going to do. And Avo's going to check raise all in. He's going to move all in, and Ed looks like he's got at least 5,000 behind.
And Ed says,
and
I
Ed
call.
calls, and Ed is drawing dead. And the river's a queen, and Avo's going to take down almost a $20,000 pot right
Ed
there.
came one hand too early.
Wow. That's almost, I got to say, between $18,000 and $20,000 right there. I will flop the flush, and you can't really flop, fault Ed. I mean,
no,
you're gonna go broke when you flop a lower flush, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff here. And that was the second to last hand. This hand's gonna be the last hand And, oh, just too bad
That
for
was-
Ed. Unlucky. And there's all those chips. And that is just some unbelievable stuff. So, here we go to the last hand of the night. Ken Berg's got the button here in seat 7. And Barry Woods has got the big blind. And what a very entertaining night of poker
Yes, it
we've had,
was.
Shirley. I know I've kept you up with all my
Yeah.
yelling.
Yeah, no chance for sleeping in here.
I think Isaac's going to kill me after the show. I think I blew some circuits.
Yeah, I think so.
And Simon is going to raise here. He's going to make it 600 to go. Ace Jack of Hearts. 500 more. And I don't know if we're going to see any play. Well, Ed's going to call.
Ed will say, okay.
I think Ed might be all in here with Jack 8. He's got about 300 left. You know, here we go to the flop. Simon has Ed dominated. And look at this. A Jack comes out. Unbelievable. Ed checks. And Simon
Wow,
checks.
they
He's trying to
check.
get tricky.
He doesn't have any chips.
And I guess these guys are friends. They just checked it down. Guess Ed and Simon are friends. You got to keep the whales together.
Yeah.
What a night. That is going to do it for us tonight, folks. I mean, what a way to end the night there. I mean, Ed flops a smaller flush against Avo's flush. We see pretty much the biggest hand of the night right there. Almost $20,000 at the river. Barry Woods, I mean, some people say you can look into his soul with those river cards. I mean, it's amazing the calls that he made. I don't know how he made that call against Avo with the 7 of hearts. And again, I mean, we do this 5 nights a week, 6 to 9 o'clock Pacific time, every single weekday. So if you haven't checked us out on our other nights, check us out. Tomorrow will most likely be a $500 unrestricted buy-in, no-limit game with 5-10 blinds. So we hope you all had fun. For everyone here in the booth, and for Shirley Rosario, the poker babe, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Play just 4 hours on PokerBlue.com and qualify for our weekly free roll to win your choice of a seat at the World Poker Tour, the World Series of Poker, or, if you dare, a seat at Poker Blue's high-stakes whale game here on Live at the Bike. Get in on the action now because these free rolls are so small that they redefine the term overlay. To qualify, open an account on PokerBlue.com with $100. Then play 4 hours at $1 and $2 limit or any no-limit game. You can even start playing right now while watching Live at the Bike. Just click the PokerBlue.com banner on the right of your screen or log on to PokerBlue.com, bonus code BIKE. And don't forget, every week you play 4 hours gives you another chance to win.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Is our audio rolling? Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, right.
would have guessed.